Okay, I think we're live. Can you hear me? Sure. Hey.
Hey.
Okay. I don't know why I wouldn't unmute. I was like, what is doing it? What's doing? Blah. Anyway. Okay.
Okay. Why do I hear a commercial or something?
I don't know. Probably because I have my thing set is on like, it's on real few ads or whatever. It sets it automatically, but that's probably why. But yours is streaming to your thing now because I just got a notification. It should be. Good morning. I cannot see.
Welcome, everybody.
Yeah, there you go, Chrissy. Because I can't see on his phone.
It keeps echoing.
I don't hear no echo.
Okay, hold on. I did. Hold on. How about now?
I don't hear echo at all.
Okay, I got rid of it, I think. Hi, guys. Hello, Teresa. Good morning. Oh, God. I gotta check mine to see. Make sure I'm... Oh, there we are. You're live. I know, SRP. See, Trisha dragged me into this. She's like, we got to go live. We've got to go live. I'm like, ah. So here we are.
Well,
we're doing it.
Yeah. And last month she was hollering at me, I have to have my streaming partner. So here we are. We've been trying to do this for a week. We just are unhinged. So
yeah,
happens when it happens.
But we got to go over these new messages and that I just shared this morning, and this new book that's coming. Like, there's so much that we haven't got to talk about. So I'm excited to be live. Yay. Okay. Let me get this going so we can check out some of these messages.
Yeah, Chrissy has to do all the paperwork because I'm on my phone. So.
Okay. Do we see it?
No, I don't.
Hold on. Well, it says stop sharing. You saw it, but you didn't.
Hang on. Let me make sure that this stupid layout.
I gotta present it now.
Oh yeah, you gotta present it.
You gotta present it. It's there, but it won't let me present it.
Yeah, we hadn't done this in a while, so it won't let you present
it. No. It says stop screen or edit, but it won't let me present. Okay, let's stop sharing for a minute. Hold on. Let me try it this way. It's been a while, guys. Give me a minute.
Yeah, well, I just have to, well, be patient because, y'all know we're unhinged. So, y'all have to remember that one of the last times we streamed, Christy lost me for 45 minutes. So just remember who we are and, it's all good.
Yeah, it won't let me share it. So you sure? I think
hang on. I shouldn't have to make it share. Wait a minute. I know how to make it do it. Hang on.
Oh, good morning, Ro. Good morning. Good morning. Thank you, SRB. Yeah, I think because you're running the stream, I'm just presenting.
Hang on.
I think you to add.
It should let you hang on, but let me make sure I got this layout thing right because that so could be what's wrong with it.
Oh, there she went. Oh my God. See what I mean? I lose her all the time. Oh, good morning, Lisa Marie. Are you back yet? No. Oh my gosh. This is going to crack me up. Okay, if I stop sharing. Well, I'm glad you're patient because I don't have patience. See, it comes up for me, but I don't understand why you guys don't see it. I'm trying, guys. But so have any of you got to read through that? I know SRB, you said you haven't got to read it yet. Okay, is it on there? It's on there. There it is. Does everybody see that now? Hi, Critter. Critter, Critter. Do we see that? Because okay. You're fine. You're fine. Yes. Okay, Ro, you see it. Thank you for answering me. Thank you. Thank you. This came with our new book that yes, I did see those. And boy, do I have questions. Yes, yes, okay. I just want to make sure you all see them. But this is new with the new book that's going to be coming out that, we all haven't got yet. But this is one of the things that were in it. And I guess this is the timeline with their text messages. And there's some really interesting things in here that I 100% question some of this stuff. I don't get. Where did Trisha go? Are you back?
Yeah, can you see me?
I can see you.
Or hear me? Hell, I didn't. I removed myself from the stage. Lord have mercy. See? I'm here. I was just chilling, talking like anybody could hear me. I pre-ordered the book. And I didn't order none of them other books. I didn't know. I was pissed off about them. I pre-ordered the book yesterday because.
Yeah. Good morning, Translucent. Good morning, everybody.
Yeah, good morning. I sure enough can't see this chat, y'all. So, I can't see it.
You can't. Okay.
No, I mean I can, but I can't. I'm blind, girl.
Yeah, Trisha, don't push no buttons. Rose said.
Well,
we can't promise anything.
Yeah.
Come on. But yeah, let's go through some of these because
look, if Christy can lose me on the stage and not find me for 45 minutes, anything is possible.
Yes, yes. And the thing was, I could hear you. I just couldn't find you. Anyhow, this is the first message they start out with, and obviously it's from, you can see the date, time, description, and obviously where they're getting it from.
But some of this stuff, y'all, reference for 1 second, like says work product on a couple of them, and we're not sure whether that's an app or what that is. Some of them say it comes from one of their cell phones. Some of it says it comes from different stuff, but we don't know what work product is, so.
And again, we got to take everything with a grain of salt because we're not sure, how this person got this info. Supposedly he FOIA'd and got all of this, and it's supposed to be legit. So, but,
And his book is in the nonfiction category. So, I don't know. We can't even, I don't tell people that the court documents are facts anymore. I tell them they're supposed to be fact because,
Yeah.
We found lies in them. So.
Yes, please make sure you guys hit that like button. Let's get me back and Trisha back in the algorithm since, we've been slacking lately. Get us back out there again. Thank you. Thank you. But anyhow, this one says the former ball at Pi Phi sorority, Kaylee was Dylan's date to the ball. Xana and Ethan attended too. They returned home around 8:30 by Uber. They had a party at 1122 King after the ball until early on the 12th. So that would have been Friday night into the 12th. That obviously came from Dylan's interview. Next one goes, Bethany wakes up. Only Ethan at the house, other roommates at Taco Bell. That came from Bethany's interview. Chestnut. I think it's kind of strange how they just throw Chestnut in here randomly. But I have a lot of questions for Mr. Chestnut. But at 11 o'clock, it says Chestnut wakes up at his fraternity in his room per Chestnut. So Chestnut does have an interview out there. And I know that me and Connor, we kind of work together in gathering these interviews and that. And I know that recently Chestnut was put in for. So hopefully we can get his interview. Then this one is, which I think the Hunter topic is interesting too in here. But it says Hunter at 1122 pre-gaming for the football. Now this was on the 12th between 12 and 1300 hours by Maury's report. Madison takes a Lyft, unknown location, 20-minute ride. I didn't realize it said unknown location, but that's a Lyft receipt. So that's interesting. And here we got the 12th at 12:54. Dylan sends Madison, Kaylee, Josie an Instagram message. It's Morrison's cell page. Okay. Then we got Kaylee and her roommates arrive at Kayla's apartment at 621 Taylor Street. Bucks for all what I owe you. They must have went over. Now, I didn't realize that's where Kayla lived, was right across the street. That's interesting. Good morning, Sarah. I can only see part of chat, guys. Sorry, with how I had the screen set up, I can't really see a lot in there. But thank you all for being here. It feels good to be back. It really does. I know I needed this one push to get me back here, and I think we'll be good. But anyhow, let's keep going because I know everybody's going to go talking about this today. Okay, the 12th. Bethany leaves with Maddie, Dylan, Xana, Ethan, Hunter, Josie, Lyndon, Kai, Allie, Sky Speck. Wonder who that is. That's a new name. This Sky Speck. Okay, it's 621 Taylor Street. Kaylee was previously left before them. Says they left Hunter says they left at 14:30 in Maury's report. Showalter and Chestnut at party at the Whites per Showalter's interview, I guess. Chestnut says this occurred from 13 to 1400 hours per Chestnut in the O'Neill's report. Then Kaylee and all her roommates arrive at Kayla's house. They take pictures. The report must be, wait a minute. Kayla lists this as the 13th. The report must be wrong. Dylan sends Josie an Instagram message. Bethany and Xana leave the party at the Whites. Ethan had left before them. Everyone else was still there. Bethany and Xana go to Allie Benson's house on Taylor Avenue. Allie Benson, I'm not sure, but I'm pretty sure there is a FOIA in for her interviewed as well. It's not a drop. It's part of the book, Translucent. Yes. Who is Erica? That's what I want to know too. Who is Erica? This is part of the new book that's coming out. Showalter at his apartment to stretch his back in ibuprofen. Chestnut at the Whites still mentioned to going to get food. Text messages between Chestnut and Showalter. This was at 1600 hours on the 12th. Okay, here's the 12th at, I don't know, military time. 12, 13, 14, 15. So this would be like, what, 4 something? Maddie sends Instagram message to Dylan, Kaylee, and Xana. And then at 1700, Connor Chestnut passes out in his room. Showalter returns home per Chestnut. This is inconsistent with the timestamp on Tallman's phone, indicating Showalter is requesting a ride from Delta at 1930. This is it's in the new book that's coming out. This is chapter 9, I guess. This is the timeline that the author of this book received with his, FOIAs and whatever else. This is what he received. Here we go with Erica. Sends Ethan a message saying, "You're getting cheated on." And then over here it says,
has got quotations around it, which is weird.
Yeah. Who's Erica with the quotations? And then it says over here how they received it was from a work product. So I'm kind of confused on that one, but I don't know. Interesting. I want to know who this Erica is. There'll be a FOIA put in for her too. Okay, then Xana texts Ethan saying she is taking a nap until 8. Now remember, this is all on the 12th before they all go out. Ethan's phone timeline, page 73. They're going to start getting into Dylan's steps too, which is really interesting. Okay, on the 12th at 17:36 hours, Dylan receives a message from Bethany. Call length 12 seconds. Then Dylan calls and has a 3-minute and 51-second phone call. Number returns to a Natalie Dayton per TLO, whatever that is. Morning, everybody coming in. I can't really see chat. I only catch the sides of it. So welcome, welcome, welcome. I think I see Witchy and Jester. I can't see your full name. Welcome, everybody. Okay, let's go on to the next message. Again, this is the 12th at 1800 hours. Bethany, Maddie, Xana, Dylan all napped at the King Road house, which we heard about, in all their message or in their interviews, and that's where this one come from. This is what I think starts to get interesting. Okay, at 1900 hours, the Explorer leaves the King Road house. Ford Explorer logs, okay, which we can FOIA that too. Trisha, don't let me forget that. My cat's sitting on my paper, so I can't write it down. But
you're telling me that I'll write it down.
We'll get it. Anyhow, Explorer leaves, Explorer arrives at Kappa Phi. I can never say these things. Anyhow, the Kappa house per Maisie. Formal event at Hunda Dunga. Ethan, Maisie, Hunter, Regan, Doris, Hannah, Jack, Riley attend together and rode in their car. Well, there's a couple more names too that need to be FOIA'd. Okay, this is from the log and from Vargas's thing. TRO, temporary restraining order. Oh. There is a link. I don't know how I can. Once I can remove this off the screen, I might be able to share it. If not, if you go to my page and the post that I just made this morning with this, I added, thanks to Sarah Dietrich. I had such trouble sharing that this morning. She made me a Google Drive link. So we did. You can't see them on the screen right now? Oh no, what happened? Trisha, they can't see the screen no more.
Hang on. I don't know. Did it add it to the stage now? There we go. It takes it off the stage, y'all. I didn't match nothing. It did what it wanted to do.
Do you see it now? Somebody tell me you've seen it before I go any farther. We see Trisha. She says, okay, so we have to go to the state of Idaho to the bridge site. There are still there. Yes. Okay. So we had the Explorer arrive at the fraternity house for Maisie's Hunda Dunda, whatever. Okay. Explorer now leaves. Now this is at 1959. So almost at 2. Yeah. So what would that be? Like 8, 9? Okay. Lord, I'm sure you are attracted about these. Something I want to see. Yeah, try refreshing it. I'll hold up a minute. Jasper and Tea Maker. Oh, okay. I see. Common sense. Okay. Explorer leaves. Now, okay, on the 12th, Dylan calls Maddie, who doesn't answer. She responds with a message. Can I call you later, Dylan? Yes, Jay, call you to wake up and come down. Yes, we just called you to wake up and come down. Okay. That's what that was. Okay, go on to the next. Okay, here is the 12th at 2006, which Ethan, Maisie, Hunter, Regan, Darius, and Hannah, Jack, and Riley arrive at the Hunga Dunga, which is Maisie's formal thing that they went to, or whatever. Ethan tells Xana he is going to be going home to change. Okay. So he did go home and change. Remember, we all talked about that, how Ethan had, his clothes were just like laying everywhere, like he just got out of them and that. So maybe that's right. Maybe that, because he ran home and hurried up and changed. Hi, Leah. Okay. So at this time, Ethan tells her that he's going home to change. Kaylee texts Eric and asks if he is working tonight. Kaylee posts pictures on Instagram, sends to Xana. Kaylee sends Dylan an Instagram message. Now, Dylan sends Kaylee an instant message and says, "Can you send me those pictures?" Then Maddie calls Xana. Maddie and Bethany leave King House to go to Pete's apartment at Sigma Chi. Ethan and Xana came over after Bethany and Maddie. Kaylee was not going to the Sigma Chi party. Dylan walked to the party alone later. Ethan, Maisie, Hunter, Regan, Darius, Hannah, Jack, Riley Black leave Hunga Dunga. Okay. Now we're at the 2100 hours on the 12th. They all arrive at the Kappa.
Okay, I have a question.
Huh?
Do you find it funny that these calls, like that Dylan and I don't know if it's really Bethany, but Dylan are like 12 seconds and 14, like it's made to look like it. Maybe I'm just crazy. I don't know. Maybe I'm looking too much into it, but
yeah, I can't argue with you on that one. I think it is kind of strange on that. And good morning, Lucy. I said, oh no, you need more sleep so you're not a monster. Oh God. Yeah, I think it's weird how their calls are really quick, but Maddie leaves Sigma Chi party to meet Kaylee and go to the club. Dylan takes 12 pictures. Now this is at the 2100 hours. Dylan calls Maddie for 14 seconds. This is at 21:18. Okay, at 21:21, Explorer, believed to be driven by Ethan, leaves Kappa. Maisie does not go with the rest of the group. She remains at the Kappa. Explorer, believed to be driven by Ethan, stops at the Sigma Chi. Now, this is at 2100 hours. At 2125, the Explorer, believed to be driven by Ethan, leaves the Sigma. So he must have just pulled in for a second and pulled back out. I mean, that was literally a 1-minute time period. So, Explorer, believed to be driven by Ethan, again arrives at 1122. Now, this is at 2100 hours. So, what, 9 something? Okay. Dylan calls Xana for 18 seconds. Ethan receives a notification. Cougar Den. Dylan, Maddie, and Bethany enter new chat. Bethany adds Ethan to the group. Now, see how it says work project here too? That's weird. It's only used once in a while, so I don't know if that's like they had to like dig for that, and it wasn't just like, I don't know. I don't know what that one is. 21 equals 9. Thank you, Lucy. I was trying to back up my clock in my head and get the exact time. Yeah, that's what I'm thinking too. He pulled in and he probably dropped one of them people off, maybe. But this answers a lot of who was driving that black Explorer that night, isn't it? Because right here, they're all saying up until at least so far, it's been Ethan. Okay, so he receives the notification at 2100 hours. Ethan sends Hunter Johnson a snap message. Drinking with Xana and Bethany. Come hang with us. This is through Ethan's snap messages. Josephine Orville sees Maddie and Kaylee at the corner club. Then at 2200 hours, Maddie and Kaylee are... Wait a minute. Okay, the time's off. I'm like, how did she see them before they got there? But if you look at the time, it is... They put this one in before this one, I guess. I see you, Sarah. Meanwhile, Kaylee and Maddie arrived at the corner club in a Prius type vehicle with another unidentified female. Excuse me. Dylan says Kaylee was at the house with a female friend, Riley Moreland, at 2200 hours. When she left, they were driven by Eric. Riley, I did ask for her interview, but when we did all the donations and that, I just didn't get enough to do Riley's interview. I only got, which, yes, we are still waiting for Lakeland's 2 interviews, and I call him Chicken Boy, AA's interview. The dude that got his hand cut that night, which his name, I believe, is Austin. I have his last name, but I don't want to say it till I know for certain. But anyhow, we're still waiting for them ones. I did put in for Moreland's interview, but I might do it again now that we see this. Because right here, Dylan says Kaylee was at the house with her friend Riley. So that's kind of, I'd like to see what Riley has to say. That's what I want to know, Translucent, because we've got denied everything, but I don't know. Bethany's friend, Yessie, arrived at Sigma Chi party and hangs out with her. Now, this is at 2200 hours, still on the 12th. Bethany calls Claire, no answer, whoever Claire is. Chestnut, see what I mean by random? All of a sudden, here's just Chestnut. Chestnut wakes up and plays games in his room and the rest of the night.
Y'all, talking about Kaylee stuff, if y'all haven't seen any of this book or read anything like of the first chapter that was put out, y'all are, I mean, there's stuff in here that if it's true, which I don't think the man's lying. I don't know if he FOIA'd this stuff or he was an FBI agent. So somebody gave him some kind of information, but we hadn't even got to that stuff yet.
No. We can get through this, and now we'll go through the first part of the book too. But okay, Dylan arrives at Sigma Chi apartment 4. Ethan, Hunter, Xana. Yes, here's that Gildan right here. That was on Dylan's arm. Remember how everybody said that? Yep. Was there. Dylan and were in and out of the lodge before going to Pete's apartment. See, now I want to FOIA that too. Hello, everybody coming in. I'm sorry that I can't see all of chat, but thank you all for being here. And please make sure you smash that like button. Try to get me back out in the algorithm again. Okay, Bethany and Yessie go to the main house of the Sigma Chi. This is at 2200 hours. 2200 hours, Kohlberger in-store purchase at Walmart in Pullman. Bounty, napkins, toilet paper, and groceries. At 2200 hours, Kohlberger in-store purchase a Subway or Safeway. I thought he said a Subway. I thought maybe he was hungry. Kohlberger in-store purchase at Safeway in Pullman. Grocery item, whatever. Bethany sends Maddie a Snapchat. Maddie and Cole take a photo together at the corner club, sent with a text to Leo. Oh, there's another person that we should FOIA for. Hold on. I'm writing this down. Leo Romero. Okay. Dylan sees Xana for the last time at Allie's. Xana is holding a White Claw. This is at midnight, 2400 hours on the 12th. Well, yeah. Okay. Ethan receives a text from Hunter J. Are you guys still at Sigma Chi? That was at 2400 hours. Maddie FaceTime with Ruby Simpson for 40 seconds while at the corner bar with friend Aiden. Okay. The 12th, still 2400. Ethan's text. Yep. When responding to Hunter J asking if he's still at Sigma Chi. Bethany takes photo, UNK, unknown location at a party of a girl. 3 minutes after midnight. Dylan takes a photo. Xana calls Ethan unanswered. Ethan misses a call from Little Noodle Xana. Isn't that a cute name? He called her Little Noodle. Aw. Bethany sees Xana and Ethan in Pete's apartment before leaving. Bethany and Yetzi walk to Allie's house on Taylor, where Allie, Jenna, Hayden, Kennedy, and Yes were the only people at the house. Text from Xana to Pistol Pete. You good? Wonder what she's texting him you good about at. Wonder if that's where they got their other things.
Who's Pistol Pete?
I think that's Pete. Pete, you know, his friend Pete. Why can't I think of Pete's last name right now?
Oh, okay, no. Okay. I remember. Okay. Yeah,
so,
my mind was blank. Who the hell is that?
For her to say "you good" with a question mark, thinks I'm starting to wonder if the Addies, if maybe that's what that's about. I don't know. Kaylee pays bar tab for Corner Club with her credit card. She pays for 9 well vodkas and 2 added juice. Okay, Bethany calls Jenna on FaceTime for 22 seconds. White, light colored sedan on louder passing ridge. Oh, that must be their one Brian's circling. Ethan receives notification from Erica. You're getting cheated on. So did she send it twice? That's weird. I want to know more about this you getting cheated on message. That's just kind of weird.
Ethan never responded to it. It doesn't say he did anyway. And Erica's name is in quotation marks, which makes me think that's not her name.
Her name. Yep. Leah, no, I don't have the book yet. It hasn't come. This is part of it that was released. Somebody posted it.
The 28th is when it's going to be released. I've pre-ordered it.
Yeah. So, okay. The white light colored sedan. Okay. Passing Ridge Road. Chestnut goes to sleep alone in his room. I just think it's weird how they just throw in Chestnut randomly throughout this. Like, nothing other than the kid's in his room and he's sleeping. Like, is that his alibi for the night, that he was alone in his room sleeping?
I don't know. It's weird. Also, y'all, because I'm getting the audiobook, we can't just stream it on live because, like, all the copyright stuff, but I can do a private live if y'all want to do that. I'll get with Christy and we'll find out exactly. We'll probably try to do it in the evening, and we'll do it that way.
Yeah. Sandra, thank you. I didn't know the name of the person, so I didn't want to say anything wrong. But yes, Sandra is right. Okay. Chestnut goes to sleep alone. Okay. Cole walks home from Corner Club. Wonder if he walks home alone. Don't say. Dylan calls a Sobro for a ride for her in Lake, because Lake is very intoxicated. They go back to 1122 and watch Vampire Diaries.
I thought they walked because Lakeland ended up saying she was okay. Or maybe that was when she went home. I might be confused.
When she goes home. Yeah. It's
okay.
When she.
Okay.
Bethany walks from Allie's house on Taylor. Time confirmed by Jenna. When she gets there.
I don't know where Dylan walked to, and we're getting to that part, but I'm just trying to figure out, because if she walked that much in that house, well.
Lakeland is who we're waiting for the interviews for. So I cannot wait to see what she has to say. And I just went back yesterday. Connor's like, how long ago did you request this? I'm like, dude, like this is the longest FOIA I've ever waited on. And I requested and paid the half on March 23rd. And we still don't have Lakeland's interview. It's crazy. Okay. So anyhow, Dylan calls Sobro for a ride for her and Lakeland to go back and watch. Okay, Bethany walks from Allie's house, confirmed by Jenna. When she gets there, only Dylan and Lakeland were at the house. They watched Vampire's Diary. Kaylee engaged in a conversation with John Jack Showalters. So for everybody that sat there and told and made a video and said that, pretty much that, I was wrong that there wasn't a 17-minute call. This shows you right here there was. Maddie joins conversation with Kaylee and Showalter at the corner club. It's coming. Just wait. Lakeland. Xana calls Ethan. No answer. Lakeland leaves the house. Dylan goes to her room. Kaylee sends a picture of her and Maddie at the corner club and says, Maddie just called me a...
Why is Xana calling Ethan? I thought Ethan and Xana were together. What the hell? Wait.
No.
Why is Xana calling Ethan twice with no answer? Unless he just walked off like on the other side of the room or something at the party. Maybe that's what it is.
Yeah.
That's
I'm
weird.
not sure either. Yeah. It's just weird. I'm like you. Why would he not answer? Anyhow, Maddie just called me a bucktooth bitch to Dylan, Bethany, Xana, and Ethan. That's what Kaylee sent. Showalter, Kaylee, Maddie leave corner club across the parking lot in the westerly direction. Pictures taken from Xana's phone. Kaylee purchases Mac of the Week from Wandering Kitchen. Showalter is with them as seen on video. 1:45, Kaylee texts Gower and asks if he can pick her and some friends up from Grub Truck. And there's Gower's text message. Peyton Rossi goes to Corner Club to pick up Jacker, Nathan, and drop them off at their apartment off of King Road. Peyton went home after dropping them off. Eric Gower arrives at Grub Truck to pick up Kaylee and Maddie. They were dropped off at 1122 King Road after the 3-4 minute drive. Jack DeCur leaves Corner Club. 151. 154. Bethany calls Maddie. No answer. 155. Bethany sends photo with message. Get me some Mac to Xana, Ethan, Dylan, Kaylee, and Maddie. Why would Bethany be sending get me some Mac? I could see sending it to Kaylee and Maddie, but why is she sending it to Xana? It just must be their group message. Never mind. That was a...
Well, also in the PCA, and yes, I'm going back to this. Correct me if I'm wrong. See, this is where I get really irritated, and that's why I do not say that police documents or court documents are facts. I say that we're presenting what they say are facts, because in the PCA, did Bethany not say the last time she saw Ethan and Xana was at the Sigma Chi party, and that Ethan and Xana got home? Everybody was home when they went to bed, but now the whole fucking thing has changed, and that's not Bethany nor Dylan's fault. The PCA was written by the police officers. So their interview, that's not what they say. So we do have to remember that I think, my opinion, the police changed some of that shit. They were trying to make them the villain in some of this shit or something, because people got mad at them. I was like, y'all, they didn't write a PCA. They probably told the cops. It sounds like the interview, they told the cops what we ended up hearing, but the PCA, I don't even know. Like that whole thing's a joke.
Yeah, I don't know either. And Sarah, I see your comment. I'll get you when I can get back to chat. Don't worry. I don't know. Oh, well, hello, Toes. Welcome. Anybody else coming in, since I can't see all of chat? Welcome, everybody. Thank you for being here. It's so good to be back and see everybody. Okay, so where did I leave off at? Okay, right here. Kaylee and Maddie arrive home. Let me make sure. Yeah. Kaylee and Maddie arrive home. Girls go upstairs with Kaylee. Well, okay, girls all go upstairs while Kaylee is getting ready for bed. Jeez. Taking selfie videos. Maddie and Bethany take Murphy outside. Bethany come back in after a few minutes, grabs chips, and goes to bed. Xana takes a picture with Jacqueline Bellavere. Jacqueline leaves Sigma Chi, and Xana and Ethan stay. This is at 2 o'clock. So right here at 2 o'clock, they still have Xana and Ethan at the Sigma Chi. Huh. Here's another good one for you. This Jacqueline person. Cooper Atkinson attempts to call Ethan 5 times on FaceTime at 2:01. That's interesting. Bethany takes several pictures with Murphy in Kaylee's bed. Dylan sends a message to Eric Uber. Are you driving tonight by chance? Morrison tells Gooch this is at 3:10 in 11:17 interview. Dylan receives text from Eric Uber. I am. Dylan tells Gooch this is at 3:13 a.m. in her interview. She says she goes to bed sometimes after this, but unsure when. She says this in the first of the room. She says this. She is the first of the roommates to go to bed. DoorDash Jack in the Box ordered by Xana at 2:15. 2:16 white light colored sedan turns left on Ridge Road. Calling for Murphy. Okay, 2:16. Calling for Murphy and whistling can be heard on the 1112 King recording. 2:17. Barking can be heard from the same place. 2:22. Light colored sedan passing Ridge. 2:26. Here we are. Here we are. Right here. Y'all see this? So when there's messages about yep, look right there. Jack D calls Kaylee. They talk for 17 minutes. Kaylee calls Jack. Not answered. 2:26. Jack D calls Kaylee. They talk for 17 minutes. And wasn't it said in the interview that Kaylee called Jack and he didn't realize and he must have hit the button thinking it was his alarm or something? Well, right here it says Jack is who calls Kaylee. Thank you, SRB. I see your So, okay. Okay. That's interesting. So Jack did call Kaylee, and they did have a 17-minute call. Kaylee calls Jack, no answer.
The police also got Xana and Kaylee confused, which I think the guy that did it, with an N, like I really do think he was traumatized because he just kept saying the F word whenever he walked in there because he was not expecting that Nuez or whatever his name is. I really do think they should have got him a little bit better backup because I think he was screwed all the way up, and that's what happened with that. It was very hard to identify, and it seems he was the one having to do that. So I think that they should have helped him a little bit more because you can hear it in his voice, like he is so confused at what is going on.
Yeah. True Crime Investigates. I thought the same thing. I thought Kaylee called Jack, and this is saying the opposite. And SRB, you might be right. Maybe he did. Yeah, give it the benefit of the doubt here. Maybe Jack did roll over, hit something, and accidentally call. I mean, 17 minutes is a long time, though. And for Kaylee to call right back, well, I guess wasn't right back because this was at 2:26. Yeah, if you go 17 minutes, 2:43, Kaylee calls Jack, no answer. 2:44, Kaylee calls Jack, no answer. 2:44, Kaylee FaceTime calls Jack, no answer. 2:47, Kaylee calls Jack, no answer. And obviously that keeps going. Then Maddie calls Jack at 2:50, 2:51, 2:51. Maddie calls Xana at 2:52, no answer. White vehicle traveling southeast on Nevada, Pullman towards SR 270. Okay. Kaylee calls Jack again. Maddie calls Bethany at 2:53. But Bethany, it does not answer, but see, that's weird. Do you see the timing here goes from 2:50 to 2:30. Bethany active on her phone. So why is she not answering Maddie at 2:50? That one's a strange one too. Bethany active on her phone at 2:31. Okay.
Katie calling Jack back to back about Murphy, y'all think? Because they couldn't find Murphy? Because didn't Maddie go downstairs and ask Beth? Which that's confusing anyways. What the hell? If Maddie was that drunk, why in the hell was Maddie outside with Murphy? And why did Beth, like, all that situation is all the way just weird to me too.
Yeah. This whole, yeah. I mean, it's all weird. White sedan seen traveling, 780 block of Indian Hills. White sedan seen westbound on Snyder. Okay, light color. Whoa. My thing was doing its own. Okay, Dylan creates phone contact for Bethany Fernandez. However you say that, because there's no Z on that, but this one I thought was interesting. At 3:51 in the morning, Emily Venmo Xana $14. What is she paying her at 3:51 in the morning for $14? Right as what? DoorDash and that's being delivered. Ooh, that's a little strange, isn't it? What would she be paying her for? That's a head scratcher there. Okay. Xana texts message to DoorDash. Are you having trouble finding it? Vehicle seen on video. 11112 King Road. DoorDash delivered by McMichael. 4 o'clock to 4:20. Dylan hears Kaylee singing and playing music and walking on the stairs. She hears Kaylee say someone is here, sounding frantic. At 4:01, white colored sedan turns on Ridge. 4:04, white vehicle traveling eastbound on King stopped and turned around in front of 500 Queen, then drive back westbound on King, attempted to park, turned around the road, continued to intersection of King and Queen where it completes a 3-point turnaround. Driving eastbound on Queen. Okay.
Well, sorry, Christy. I don't think we have a time where Ethan and Xana got home, actually. We just know their text where they're is basically confirming they're still at a party. But, you know, it was said that they went from here to there to here. Like, I don't know, but we don't know when they got home. We just know they were home when.
As of right now, the last message, right now, the last message is for at 2 o'clock in the morning. They were seen in Sigma Chi. That's the last we've got so far on theirs. So they would never got home till after 2 at least. Okay. Xana's still active on TikTok at 4:12.
But Xana's dad, do y'all think Xana's dad might have been the night before? Because I don't think Xana's dad would just lie and say he talked to Xana. And I don't see them coming home and going back out unless that confuses me. Because he said he talked to Xana. They had come home because of whatever happened at at Sigma Chi with, that's a little, see, that's where I'm getting, I don't think Xana's dad would just make that up. So somewhere, there's something that either we don't know about or Xana told her dad she was at home and they weren't, which, I mean, sometimes whatever, but maybe that's what happened. Maybe she just told her dad that. I don't know.
Yeah. JP, Jeff could have been confused on his nights. I mean, I thought of that too, because he did admit, they were drinking and everything else. See, I think Xana's dad did kind of fix that comment. So it's hard to say. I mean, there's so much stuff in this case that it's absolutely ridiculous. The whole story is confusing. Yeah. Okay. Dylan opens the door one more time. I want to get to the
trauma from it. He may not remember. Like, it's hard sometimes. You think something happened, but all of that and the trauma, like, you can't. You get the days confused.
Yep. Okay, Dylan opens her door the first time. Dylan opens her door the second time. Thinks she hears Kaylee crying in the bathroom and a male in the crying in the bathroom and a male in the bathroom with her say, "It's okay, I'm going to help you." Now thinks it may have been Xana in the bathroom. Dylan opens the door a third time, sees someone dressed in black, mask holding a item like a vacuum. They were at least 3 inches taller than she was. They were approximately 3 feet away from her, walking out the back slider door. He looked at her before walking out. 4:24. Bethany texted Dylan, "So am I." Well, what the fudge? So am I what? Okay, 4:24. Dylan texted Bethany, "My phone is going to die." Fuck. 4:24. Bethany texts Dylan, "Come to my room, run down here." Dylan Snapchat call to Ethan for 12 seconds. Yeah, I don't remember saying 3 inches taller either. That was kind of a strange little comment right there. And why was the first message Bethany to Dylan, "So am I"? I don't know. That's not right. Dylan texts Bethany, "I'm screwed though." Bethany texts Dylan, "I know. Yeah, I know, but it's better than being alone." These ones we've all pretty much seen. Dylan opens the door the 4th time before going down to Bethany's room. Dylan sees Anna on the floor in her underwear in her room, but doesn't go in. Dylan calls Kaylee. 4:28. Dylan sees a black colored truck driving by when she gets down to Bethany's room. I always thought that was just strange. How would she, I guess looking out Bethany's window, but I don't know. Dylan calls Xana. Bethany calls Madison. Bethany calls Kaylee. Dylan messages to Kaylee, "Please answer." Neighbor, okay. This is 4:45. Neighbor Brandon Pillow at 1:27 hears dog stop barking. Sounds like someone let him inside. This is at 4:45. Active. Okay, here we go with the footsteps. Okay, this is at 5 o'clock. Activity sensor data reports Dylan distant travel 30.77. I don't know what that is. Anybody know what that is? Like, is that feet? Is that meters? Is that, what is that? I don't understand. Travel 30.77. Now we're going to get more, but white vehicle traveling northbound Johnson, then north on Bishop. White vehicle north on all that. Bethany wakes up and tries calling her dad about her tooth. He doesn't answer. Activity sensor data reports Dylan's distant travel 3.52. So I need to figure this out. I don't understand what distance 3.52 is. Is that like 3.5 steps? Is that 3.5? You know, what exactly is that? Because that's going to tell us how many steps here that, yeah, that's what I don't know. Your service is horrible.
Okay.
Yeah, you're in and out. Bethany tries calling her house, no answer. Bethany calls her mom and says she needs to talk to her dad. Bethany talks to her dad, takes an Advil, falls back to sleep. Activity sensor report, Dylan's distance traveled 3.52. This is at 9 in the morning. Hey, Jen. Hey, anybody that came in that I've missed. I'm sorry, I can't see chat fully. So, and then per law enforcement, Koberger's phone pings in the area of Highway 95, a car matching the description. Koberger is seen in surveillance on Main Street. Okay, Dylan sends 7 outgoing messages via Snapchat and receives 2 incoming. Content of messages unknown. Showalter wakes up to watch NFL. This is at 10 in the morning. Okay, Stroller wakes up. Okay, Dylan accessing Indeed site on her phone. 10 to 10:23 in the morning. Dylan sends and receives multiple Snapchat messages. Content of messages unknown. Justin leaves for a walk and the door to the front of the King Road residence is open. Recalls this at 9, but the video shows it occurred at 10:08 is when that neighbor walked by and seen the door open. Dylan texts Maddie, "Are you up?" Dylan tells Gooch this message was at 11:23, but it was at 10:23 because her, her phone was on Boise time. Yeah, that's what I don't understand either. Why would it be unknown? Thank you, Lucy. Because if they're digging and they're finding this, how can they not find what the message was? They found all these other messages. Dylan texts Kaylee, "Are you up?" Koberger selfie in the apartment. Shoalwater at Floyd's at 10:49. Brian at Washington Trust ATM pulls $100 in cash out at 10:49 that morning. Okay, so 3 meters is only 9 feet. That's not far. Okay, thank you. Thank you, SRB. Good morning, Meanie. Okay, at 10:52, Ethan receives notification that Sean Derman sent a chat. Justin returns from walking his dog, and the front door of the King residence is still open. And this is at 10:59. At 11, activity sensor data. Dylan total sample count 3.00. Distance traveled 120.75. Flights climbed 2. What? Am I reading that right? Flight. Oh, did she go up steps at 11 o'clock then? Shit. Huh. Okay, so there's more steps. Okay, Bethany wakes up at 11. Yeah, okay. Ethan receives notification at Maisie. Little sis said, "Sorry, I fell asleep." Dylan on Instagram and Snapchat sending and receiving messages. Content of messages unknown. I call bullshit to that. Sorry. Jenna sends a message to Bethany to see if she's awake. Dylan sends a snap to Maddie asking if she's up. DM's phone record shows this was at 10:23. Dylan accesses Dylan accesses TikTok. Dylan sends and receives Snapchat content of messages unknown. Oh, man. There's so much in this. Okay, Dylan gets messages from her dad. "Hey, DMM." Who says that? I mean, I would never text my kids their initials. Can I call you today and just chat? Plus, I wouldn't be scheduling an appointment to talk to my child. I'd be like, "Yo, what are you doing? Call me." Not, "Hey." That's just weird to me. Okay, Dylan responds, "2 works better." In the midst of all this that's going on, and you're upset and you're worried about your friends upstairs and nobody's answered and everything else, and you're just nonchalantly answering your dad about a 2 o'clock time to talk to him. Weird. I call something on that, man. Bethany calls Jenna saying that her roommates aren't answering. Dylan calls Emily Allant via Snap for 1 minute, 48 seconds. Dylan receives messages from Jenna. Bro. Dylan texts Emily about what happened that last night in the Masked Man. Emily tells Dylan this is at 10:50. At 10:50. An hour before the 911 call. Y'all hear that, right? Y'all see this. Emily tells Dylan this is at 10:50. But this says 11:50. So I'm sorry, but I think these are not the right times because we hear all the interviews and all the interviews are stating 9, 10 o'clock that they, heard or did something or whatever. So I really think Emily was more right on her time, but that's my opinion. Jenna texts Dylan, "Do you guys need me to come get you. Dylan accesses Instagram. 911 call placed by Bethany, Hunter, and Emily on scene. So that's all that we got so far. Aha, good one, Tomboy. Climbing stairs at 11 a.m. Maybe walking up from the whites. That is a good point. Yeah, right? Something is not right there. Where was that at? Right? Okay, right here. So at 11 o'clock, okay, how far is 120.75? I mean, is that a lot of feet? Because if that's is that enough to get from the whites over? And the 2 sets of stairs would be climbing them steps, the walkway steps. That would at least be 1 set. That definitely is interesting right there. Right. I believe you are right, SRB. Yes, Mike, I'm on. I finally got over my anxiety, and for those of you that don't know, I have, I used to do these lives, and then for some reason I grew a real bad anxiety to going live. So that's why I haven't been live since Christmas, because I haven't been able to. So Trisha's been pushing me for a week now. Every day she's like, "You ready? You ready? You ready?" So here we are. I finally did it. Dylan's dad message was code for, "Hey, I made it back to Boise." Yeah, something's weird about that. I've never in my life, thank you. I never in my life would have texted my kids like that. One, I would never text them by their initials. And 2, like I said, to set up, I mean, I can see if they're working or something and be like, "Yo, what are you doing later? Give me a call after work or something." But to me, that message is really off.
Well, can y'all hear me now? Am I still cutting it in? Okay. Bethany's toothache flips me all the way out. There was a stranger in their house the night before, and this bitch, and I don't mean to call her bitch, I'm just saying, this girl is over here just calling her dad because she's got a toothache. Going back, I'm so confused at, I comprehend that. And I don't understand how people are just literally, just like with the screams outside, y'all, they think we're stupid because these people are going to try to tell us that's people partying. I can't not do it. That is the stupidest shit I've ever heard in my life. If that was people partying and it wasn't at the King Road house, wherever that was, they need to go check to see what the hell was going on, because there was something that was not okay going on. That's all I'm saying. Every light in the house on that other house was on, like a quiet night. Nothing was quiet, and every light in that one house was on all night, all until the next morning.
Yeah. Yep.
I mean, every light in that house was on. I was like, nobody. I mean, but we're going to get to those scenarios too, because I didn't know of a couple of things until recently. Somehow I missed that completely on a couple of things, but I know a couple of people are asking about Ethan's hand clutching hair, what the person who wrote this book, the person who wrote this book said that they said it was debris, so they didn't test it. But yes, it would have roots. If he pulled somebody's hair in a fight, it would have roots. Something about the closet too. When Christy, there was hair found or something. I got confused on that. But.
Beach babe, thank you.
It wasn't Brian Coburger's hair, because for the love of God, if it would have been Brian Coburger's hair, we would know that already. I don't think it was Xana's hair, because he's not going to be pulling Xana's hair. So his socks were white. There was nothing on them. So he was naked except socks. He was covered up. I think they put the socks on him afterwards. That's just me. If his socks had nothing on them, but he's 6'4", 228 pounds. Brian Koberger don't have a mark on him. Y'all think Brian Koberger took Xana and Ethan at the same time? I'm just asking. Now, I mean, he could have become Kung Fu Ninja. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
They said he had a belt on. Maybe it was a damn black belt from karate. I'm not sure. I don't know where the belt thing come from. The hell, I don't even understand that scenario anyway. But I'm just saying, Ethan is 6 foot. That's taller than Brian Koberger, 228 pounds. Ethan didn't just, and he had enough Adderall in his system, which I'm not judging. They're college kids, whatever. They could have had way worse in their system. My God. He was not asleep. Like, that's just absolutely absurdly ridiculous to say he was asleep, because I don't think he was.
No, I agree with you. I don't think so either. I don't think any of them were asleep. I mean, I just don't. I think there was a lot more going on in that house than what they're letting on to us. You hear me?
Wounds.
Do you hear me? Okay, you hear me. I'm trying to find the book to show you, and now I can't find it. That's my kind of luck, right? Let's see.
Go to the text messages you sent me, Christy. It's in there. The link is in there. You should be able to get it from, because you sent it to me.
In where? Oh.
On the phone, the text message.
Yeah, well, I don't got them on here. I got to go. Stupid. Hold up. I know where I can go to get it. Just bear with us, guys. You know how we are around here. At least I haven't lost Trisha yet, so we're good. Well, at least not for long. Oh, where is it at? Where is it at?
On this, I will go ahead and I can halfway pronounce asphyxiation. There's another P word on Kaylee's that you're gonna see in this book. But also, like, it is from somebody. It's not. I thought maybe when they the BLOOD of asphyxiate her or whatever, but that's not what this is, because whatever that other word is, which y'all said, I cannot remember it, but it means pressure, a lot of pressure, and for an extended period of time was put on her. And also it says her throat was ear to ear twice post-mortem. That right there, if that is true, that is something. Done twice and done post-mortem, that's a lot of anger. That's just something to me, because I don't understand how this crime did not happen as fast as they said it did either.
No. Okay, let me present. I finally got it, but do you see it? You got to present it, I think. I don't know. I don't know. I have it, but it won't show. So I don't know. Do you hear me? Hello. Okay. There it is. Okay. This I'm not reading. I hate books. I'm not reading about it. That was bad enough for me to read the messages.
I hear you. I can see it.
I don't know. You got some horrible service. It sounded like there was a wild chicken in the background. Yeah, right? Look, Lucy. Yeah. Kaylee was cut from ear to ear. That just is. Ugh. Okay. This is the beginning. This is, it just explains, I guess, the gist of the book or whatever. But let's see. I'm going to try to find, since I don't have my highlighted one, I'm trying to skip through here some. But if you guys haven't got to read this yet, yeah, you need to, definitely, because there are some really interesting things in here that we've never heard about. It's been over 2 years since Kaylee, Maddie, Xana were found in their 3-story home. This is the most sense of crime. Okay, Miss Jenkins. The courtroom is a small crowd. I want to get to direct woman's seat. I can't see chat at all now, so just so you know, I can't see anything. Miss Ellen is here, lead prosecution, perhaps oversight, considering this. I'm trying to skip through here to get you into some good parts, but attention to families, dozens. Okay, it's a lot of this. I want to point out that there have been calls by some of the public to contact me. Oh, this was Hitler bitching about Steve. Outage. Meanwhile, the families of Xana were not notified of the agreement. Court says I could always make the decision. Okay. Nothing on these at one point. All right. Understand. I don't want what all. Yeah. What the judge does not tell the world is that. Wait a minute. Proven that or about. Okay, right here. The judge does not tell the world that Xana fought for her life, wrestled her killer on the floor of her room in a pool of blood in this hearing during horror. Okay, 5 counts of murder. Okay, yeah, that ain't the one I wanted. There's one that describes. Trying to find it. The courtroom hangs on every word as the narrative built, but there is no mention of the fact that Kaylee was sophisticated to the point of this word right here. Whatever that word is, beaten so severely her skull and orbital bone was fractured. Her throat was slashed ear to ear twice. Postmortem. This is a crime of rage. Defense, he has left the room for whatever reason, ended up leaving, or the sheath was left on the bed next to Mogan's body. The sheath was tested. Okay, Thompson does not mention seamlessly significant flaws in this part of the case, indicating FBI laboratory reports that the state's DNA sample may have been comprised less than 10 human cells. He does not mention the fact that the DNA sample was the first sent to a private lab in the Woodlands, Texas, where it was traced to 4 brothers, none of whom were named Koberger. He does not mention the chain of custody issue of the fact that handwritten Idaho State Police evidence retained forms note that the sheath was not on the bed but on the floor. As this is a plea hearing and not a trial, the prosecution is not bound to present any particular point of evidence, only that they chose to present in their statement at the hearing. So this right here is saying that that sheath was not found on the bed. It was found on the floor. Yeah, the sheath was not on the bed, but on the floor. The state's evidence would show that Xana was still awake at the time. Her room was not on the third floor. It was on the second floor of the west side, as the defendant was either coming down the stairs or leaving, and he encountered Xana and ended up killing her also. Thompson did not explain that Xana died 30 feet from where she was first attacked. He does not explain the impossible trail of apparent alternate evidence Xana left along the way, including blood splatter that was diluted with an unknown substance. He does not explain how two survivors in the house do not notice her screams, though the audio recording from the surveillance camera down the street did. He does not explain how Xana's boyfriend, a 6'4", 228-pound football player, never got out of bed to help her as she fought for her life just 3 feet away. Thompson does not mention that Ethan's undiluted blood was found at the top of the stairs leading down to the first floor. Other stains somehow hidden under a box of White Claw. He does not mention apparently overwhelming forensic evidence of the crime scene altercation, a cleanup of the house in common spaces, or highly likely involved in a second assailant. Ethan Chapin, Xana's boyfriend, was asleep in the bed in the bedroom, and the defendant killed him as well as a large fixed blade. In her bed, and the defendant killed him as well with a fixed blade knife. Each victim suffered wounds. No evidence of say. Thompson does not address the fact that Ethan's naked body was covered with a blanket sometime after he was deceased. He does not devolve evidence showing that despite a trail of blood from Madison's room on the third floor to Xana's, does not showing that. Okay. Third floor to Xana's on the second floor. Not a drop was found in the bed where Ethan supposedly died at the hands of a lone offender. There is no mention that a clump of hair was discovered in Ethan's closed fist, probably pulled in the fight with the killer. There is no, oh my God, situational laboratory evidence because there were none. The hair labeled debris was never examined beyond color and length. There were no attempt to identify the source using DNA. They never tried to see whose DNA that was. None. Like what the, like, I don't know, guys. So that to me explains what we heard about the squirrel, that we all thought, that they were talking about a squirrel that was in his hand. Now I'm thinking, did they think that's what it was? And it was this club of hair, or was it actually that? And they're just calling it a, thing of hair, because why would they not test that? Like, he has a ball of hair in his hand to the person who did this, I'm sure, because why else would he have a ball of hair?
Also, the naked man Bethany saw, if Ethan was naked, me and Christy was talking about this earlier, could that have been who she saw running?
Yeah. Yeah. There was something said that he was scalped at one point. So, yeah. Ugh. Okay, so now what the hell one's up on the screen? That one. Oh, wrong one. Okay, I got to jump ahead because I don't know why that one. I can't think of any other. I know there's other parts in this book that are really good, but because I don't have my one that I had it highlighted. Okay.
Do you see the part about Kaylee?
I'm trying to see if I can. Okay. Now I know it's evidence. Our knowledge also, we do not have evidence, but we can put the phone. Okay, that was from him. We're moving to early morning, state evidence. Investigators put together businesses. Okay, nothing in the files I received anything. The state believes that an evidence would have shown the defendant entering the residence through the sliding door, which is the side of the residence, and went to the third floor. Court hangs on every word. Nope, nope, nope. And Thompson does not mention significant flaws in the part. Okay, this is the one I read. Okay, I thought I was father. Okay. I'm looking. Lay that more to cover. In fact, such proceed to finish. It might be actually in the first chapter and not on this part of it. I can't see chat, so if anybody's saying where it is.
It's on chapter. Y'all, what it says is what I said and what Lucy said in the chat. That we was asphyxiated, and Lucy, what the hell is that word? I think it begins with a P. But that word means that it puts like red rash things on you, but it is only that happens when a lot of pressure is put there and for a longer period of time than just choking somebody out, I guess, or whatever, strangling somebody. Trigger warning, I should have said that first. But because the guy who wrote this book, like, kind of said that stabbing may not have been exactly what took her out. But the thing is that really bothers me, why did they slice her ear to ear 2 times after she was not here anymore? That's a very specific, if you look at psychology on that stuff, that's a very telling thing.
Yeah.
I will say this. I don't agree with everything her parents do, but if her mama is unhinged off her rocker, I give her grace now, because if that happened to her and to have to know that is, I do try to remember that stuff when and I honestly think, look, Steve G don't even make any sense half the time. I think these people are being threatened with their other kids or something. It's got to be. I mean, in my mind, it has to be, because, I mean, it's crazy that the parents are not saying anything. To know all this stuff and none of them are saying anything, then there's some kind of danger. Bethany does not want to come back to Idaho at all, period. She don't want to step foot.
Yeah.
So that tells you something. And that leads me and Christy to the Mowich. I didn't know nothing about this Mowich guy till like 2 months ago. I like to have shit on. I was like, what? And then to find out he passed away, what he passed away from, and then to find out Farley, actually, there's a police record where Farley is telling, and I know they don't find him credible. I know he lies, yada, 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 but I'm just trying to make it make sense. And I'm not saying that the whole prison gang of these people, and that's why that happened, because the gang, I'm saying that these people are unhinged outside of prison. And if anybody's watched Todd Siegel, and if you don't believe in psychics, that's fine, but this man helps the police, and this man described Mowich from everything. Now, I don't know about his smell, but I literally almost passed out 2 months ago because I was like, Christy, and she's like, yeah, you hadn't heard his name? No, me and her have been doing a lot of stuff. I did not know this man. I didn't know nothing about him. And then there's a guy that was his friend. I guess Xana's mama knows him too, and I can't remember the man's name, but he stabbed people on top of the head in Washington at a casino like 2 months after the crime. And that's very specific. People don't, that's a specific trait, or I don't know what the hell you call it. Craziness? I'm not sure. But so I don't know what was going on. I don't know. I mean, in my opinion, and I'm probably going to get fussed at, I think Dylan and Quinn, for a while, I thought Dylan and Quinn may have been Dylan out of the house. I do think Kaylee was investigating. Her dad just busted out with, she was very afraid of children and people movement.
like they move drugs. So he just busted out one day and said that. And since that day, I have literally, I think Kaylee was digging into that because I think she did find out that people that you would never think were doing this. And I don't think they wanted her talking about it or to know that. I think all 4 of them were targets, or at least 2 of them in each room for whatever reason. I could be wrong with that, and I still can't figure out who went first, Ethan and Xana or Maddie and Kaylee, because all that's confusing.
Yeah. Oh, I agree. Okay. This last part of the before the chapter starts, it says that 4 young students were cut down in the prime of their life. On the 3rd floor, Kaylee laid beaten, smothered, and slashed with Maddie, cuddled beside her, posed as if napping. On the 2nd floor, Xana was found spread eagle in a sprawl, of coat, hangers, and shoes, with her boyfriend unalived in the bed just a few feet away. What the world does not know yet is that Brian Koberger's guilty plea may have whitewashed one of the greatest trials of modern live trial. No one will ever know how a lone assassin with no ties to any of the vehicles entered a home in the middle of the night, committed 4 murders in around 4 minutes, escaped without a trace. What were his motives? Who was his target? Why did he not unalive the witnesses who waited 8 hours before calling? In order to answer these questions and truly accept Koberger's plea, we must go back to the awful night of Moscow and re-examine the case for ourselves. Yes, justice remains the wrath of lawyers and courts, but we are now all a jury for Koberger's peers with every right to weigh the evidence as presented. Truth beyond reasonable doubt is our objective. We begin with a song, whatever that means. But then it goes into, what's this? Dear Scout, earlier you and I know to communicate. I have no doubt that your heart was contagious of what I intend. Always a pack brother. Letter to his dog.
Yeah, that's Brian Koberger's letter to his dog.
Oh. Huh, I must not even have seen that the first time. I skipped right over it. But this is what starts chapter 1. And like I said, with right now we can only see the first chapter. But there's a lot of I just can't wait to see what else comes out. I really cannot wait to see what else they expose, because you know damn well there's going to be a lot more.
The author is making a point where he randomly puts Brian Koberger in there, and it makes no sense. Because I feel like he's trying to say, hello, where does this make sense? Because nothing, like, and then he just randomly puts him in there like, oh yeah, we don't forgot about him. Hell, he's sitting in prison for this. And this plea deal thing that people do not understand, he took a plea deal, so he's guilty. No, I cannot say this a million times over. I did not know this, y'all. I'm 43 years old and learned this in the past 2 years. The jury does not hear some stuff. Like the jury for this, if there would have been a trial, this jury, this is why I will never be able to serve on a jury, because when the judge asked me, did I or am I going to look into the case? Yes, the fuck I am. Why? Because y'all ain't fixing to have me. In Alabama, they have the death penalty. Getting somebody hung, whatever they gonna do to them, and I don't even know all the damn facts. And then after the fact, I find out that there's DNA that y'all just blatantly took out because y'all didn't think it was important, which is, I mean, literally blew my mind. So the judge was not going to let them talk about any other suspects, anybody else's DNA, or anything. So the only thing they could do that's what happened to Richard Allen. Like, the judge can do that. So I will never serve on a jury, because I will look at that judge, and yes, I will, because y'all can take out shit that is very important. And when you are making a decision, whether somebody's life, like, yeah, that I literally still cannot talk about it. I'm stuttering because
I mean, that's why the man took a plea deal, because they was going to find him guilty more than likely, because they couldn't hear nothing else. And guess what? When they do hear it, they can't go back and say, well, we didn't know that. So everybody needs to remember that, and for your own sake, for your kid, whoever's sake, the judge can decide. I mean, can it be appealed? Yes. Can all this be appealed? Yes. I'm sure Cy Ray is not sitting back just letting him being called a conspiracy theorist go. I'm sure there's background stuff, but like Lucy said, it's stuff that can take years. If y'all think that I think Cy Ray's sitting hunky dory being called a conspiracy theorist, y'all ain't watch this podcast, because he just ain't finna go out like that. And they probably done pissed him off now, because basically they done called him a liar and conspiracy theorist at that. So I'm sure he's going to have Ashley Jennings' job and everything, because he's going to prove it all to them. But they called him a conspiracy theorist so that they could discredit that way they could keep him from testifying. But, I mean, and that man said, and I quote, I'm going to quote, this ain't exact words, but this man said he has never seen, and he's never worked for the defense before, but he has never seen a prosecution try to cover something up that was a much bigger issue. So there's a bigger, like we all say, there's something else going on there. He is okay for that man to say that. He believes that's it. He hates corruption, and he will tell you the worst corruption there is a corrupted police officer. Okay. So this man literally, like, that is they hit his, I can only imagine what he did. His top probably blew off his head whenever he got caught a conspiracy theorist, because he's everything but, because he don't go down conspiracies. He's going by facts. He don't talk to he don't talk to the defendant. He don't talk to he don't do any of that. He does his pro bono, so that way nobody can try to bribe him. So for him to go to the defense and then to say what he said in that notarized affidavit where he named people with his whole entire chest and said that he could back all of it up. Y'all, that's not everybody. People might have forgot that. I ain't forgot it, because I know he hadn't. So it might take a while, but I hope Cy Ray blows their ass up out the water, because I think he should, but that's my opinion.
Oh my goodness. I'm trying to read chat. I come back over, so now I can actually read some with chat, guys. Welcome, everybody. Thank you all for being here. Make sure you all hit that like button for us. And yeah, I can't wait. I can't wait for this book. I can't. What else do we want to look at? Because the book's not letting me go any farther, obviously.
Christy, did you see in chat, Christy, what they said Nuez was only 23 years old? I don't think he had anything to do with no cover up. That 23-year-old cop was fucked all the way up. And the only thing that poor man can say is fuck. Like, literally, they ought to be ashamed of themselves for not getting that man a little bit more backup. He had Xana and Kaylee confused. And I ain't even mad about that, because that man, he literally, and you can hear it in his voice, he wanted to run. He didn't know what to do. He really didn't. And I don't think that they didn't help that man. And I didn't realize he's only 23. That's way young. And that was a lot. And he was not expecting to walk into any of that shit at all.
Yeah. I think, I don't know if I can trust anybody out there, to be honest with you. Like, every time I think, nah, this one don't have something to do with it, then next thing I know, I'm questioning it. So, but I don't think he does. I think he was just young, and I actually feel bad for what he had to see, but when did
and I'm saying about hearing his voice, like his mistakes, which he corrected, which I know they were mistakes, but like literally with him, I'm going to say he should have had a little bit more backup. I can't believe they did that to him at 23 years old. You know what I mean? I would have had all their names confused. Hell, I would have had the upstairs confused with the downstairs. It would have been bad. So, and for him to be so young, I really didn't realize he was that young. I mean, and y'all see some of them cops don't even work there anymore. Now, some of them I think it's shady, but some of them I think it did something. It did. I mean, of course, This was a nightmare, y'all. This shit right here is not. What makes me so mad is they've made a joke of this shit, and these kids died. The worst horror movie. Nobody can even fucking try recreate a horror movie that's as scary as the shit they went through, in my opinion. Okay, and everybody sitting here. These people, it pisses me. Like, it makes me want to go to Moscow and literally, I don't know what it would do, jump up and down and beat people up, because these poor kids and young adults deserve. I mean, it pisses me all. I can't tell y'all because I get all the way mad. Ask Christy. I get fighting mad. I think all of them should go to jail, go to hell. If they, I don't know how they sleep at night. I don't know how they sleep at night, but I hope. I don't know what I hope. These are the type of people that trigger warning people. I tie up in the woods and like go poke every day. I don't know. See, I have that kind of mind on people that do crazy stuff to people, like Sandra Birchmore, the cop that did that shit to her. Yeah, I have a fucking fantasy of what I want to do to that dude, and it's not quick either. Like, anyway, see, I'm not morbid. I'm only morbid when people do stupid things. So, anyway, but that's my punch. Sitting in jail is not punishment enough. That man, that Sandra Birchmore, that dude had a fucking meme that said, "I want to KILL someone that nobody else cares about." Well, that right there, all the way triggered me, because I am Sandra Birchmore. Okay, so y'all, I put so much shit on the police. I cuss them people out every day, 3 and 4 times a day. Called like a bunch of people did. Thank God that girl's getting justice now. But just because she wasn't here, I could not. It made me sick to my stomach. I pitched a bitch fit on Facebook and everything. I didn't care. Cussed the FBI out. I did not care. They're like, "They coming to get you." I said, "Good, take me out." But I'm not shutting up. You're gonna have to take me out to shut me up, because that girl, that's horrible. That is so awful. That cop thought he was gonna get away with it because nobody didn't give a shit. Oh God, I just want just give me 6 months with him in the middle of the woods. Let me tie him up. I'm telling y'all have no idea what oh my God, see. So
yeah,
that's just how I feel about that. But I digress.
Oh, we know. But no, I don't know. I just don't even know what to think anymore. It's like more and more stuff that come out, the more and more I just go,
Well,
like
this is the thing though.
Live from last night also has the author with a preview that DA, is it on DA's or channel? Because I don't want to strike. And YouTube streets are a little rough right now, and people are liking to strike people. So
yeah, y'all, when we do this kind of stuff, we're gonna have to do it privately. Like, if we're gonna watch, like, and I'll give credit where credit's due to people, but because some people are gonna be whatever, that's why I said we're gonna have to. Y'all gonna have to in the comments or whatever, or get with us and tell us what y'all are wanting to see. Some of the stuff that we can't do just on a public live stream, and we can do it off the platform or on a private stream on YouTube and do it that way. Not
it's on
credit from just keep from somebody saying somebody, because I can't do all that drama. Like he said, she said, we said, they said. I can't do it. But y'all, if we look at what we know about our government today, and I don't even want, if y'all don't agree with me, it's fine. But we have, in my opinion, satanic child molesters that have a power trip. What the hell do we expect? I'm just saying. Like, I'm not sure what else we expect. We literally have people in our government that are guilty as, that makes me mad too. And this is what they do. And everybody thought we was crazy. Ask Chrissy how many people told me I was crazy about the adrenochrome thing and them eating baby. Like, everybody has told me Hollywood, they don't do that. Okay, Jay-Z and Beyonce sleep upside down. Now tell me I'm a liar. I'm just saying, this shit is for real. Like, whether you want to believe it or not. And we all sitting here, the government works for us, and we letting satanic child molesters run our country. And they're geriatric satanic child molesters at that. So I'm just saying.
Yeah, hold up. Sorry. I see Dago had his last night, so I'm gonna try to get to the author part. See if we can. Uh, okay. Is this the author? Okay, hold up. Okay. Let me share this. Okay. I shared it, but
Are you putting the present thing? It takes it a minute to pop up. I don't know why.
yeah, I hit present. I see it down
Oh,
here.
there
I
it
just
is.
don't.
It takes a minute for it to load. It's loading now. It's just a pain. It's just, yeah, I'm up on the hill. I'm at work. I'm just not working right now because there ain't shit for me to do. Well, I could be framing, but I'm not. But anyways, so this hill does not like it acts stupid. So it takes it a minute. Hang on. It should be adding the stage in a second.
I was gonna say it popped up and then it left again.
Fuck, did I mash remove? Wait a damn minute. I probably hit, because I'm impatient. I done hit the button 10 times probably. Hang on. Okay.
There you are. Oh, nope, there it went again. As soon as
Oh
it
my
pops
God.
up.
I'm fixing to throw this. Hang on. Okay, now it should be up there.
That's shit that I say all the time. I'm gonna throw it. Is this the one we're all talking about, right? This was last night's live, so let's see what it says.
Did it come on the stage again? Oh, okay.
No, it's up there. It's up there.
Okay.
All righty, everybody. Look,
I was gonna get my
even
hat.
my
Okay.
own team has not seen the following clips. I'm going to share with you 2 teaser clips. We'll probably put these out as shorts during the week.
I gotta skip ahead of here. Let me see. Oh no. What the heck?
Warning,
Okay.
because inside it,
It's not letting me skip. Okay.
And some of the things that he's done, and check this out. Christopher, this book, I cannot wait to get into it with you.
If one of you guys can drop Dago and I guess DA's link in my chat. And thank you, DA, for this. This is awesome. And Dago and everybody on that crew.
Tell us a little bit about when you started. When did you decide to write this book in the first place?
I decided to write this book shortly before the change of plea hearing. It was set for trial, and I had just started. I was in the final stages of working on another book about a mysterious disappearance called the Springfield 3. It's also a very widely known and talked about case in the true crime community. And I have a friend, a former FBI colleague, and he came over to talk to me about the case. He had just solved another cold case, and he had just gotten 2 guys prosecuted for murder 35 years after the fact. So we were talking about what we were going to do next, and he told me about this case, and I had not really looked at this case at all. I knew very, very little about it. And when I did look into it, I thought, well, prosecution has it pretty well sorted. All the evidence seemed sound. It was moving toward trial, and I figured, why would I have any interest in it whatsoever? You know, it seemed very straightforward, very cut and dried. And then
How I have this set up so I can stop it and talks and try not to get a strike. I can't see chat. So just so you know. So if anybody says anything, Trisha, let me know.
And he showed me parts of the file. Then he showed me things that he had seen that I had not. He showed me, we discussed things that he knew that I did not. And then I'd say within a few days, I decided there was something really significant about this case in particular. And that's when I got involved.
Good.
wow.
So that is a teaser and a new logo. I also teased my little new logo that you'll see a little bit more often as well. What do you guys think?
I'm jealous of his guitar collection.
Yeah, I was gonna say he's obviously a collector.
Right.
I said you're a musician. He goes, yeah. I love
Things saying that the Moscow Police Department were some of the finest investigators in the world. They did a hell of a job for what they had, but they don't have the resources, right? It's a town of what, 26,000 people or something, Moscow.
Yeah.
And they have a certain number of officers with specific responsibilities that do not include quadruple homicide on a Sunday morning, right?
I know, Scully. I got to keep. Sorry, guys. If I don't stop it a lot, then, you know, YouTube likes it. Not that I'm monetized. I don't make a penny off of this stuff. Everything I've done, I don't make a penny off of it, but I don't want to affect Trisha's channel either. So I have to keep stopping it. Sorry.
So they went to the Idaho State Police, who have a crime lab, who have seasoned investigators, who have evidence response teams. They have more resources. When the investigation exceeded those resources, they went to the FBI, which we all know spends what, $10 billion a year, I think, is their budget. And they have the lab at Quantico, and they have the critical incident response group where I worked. They have the behavioral assessment unit, analysis unit, BAU4, which handled most of this. VICAP, the violent criminal apprehension program, when I was in the FBI, I helped start that program and have all those reports. So the point of the story is, I went back and said, what do I see in this case that presents not just red flags, but tsunamis of what the hell's going on here? And
right.
Well, I'm sure he didn't have to look too hard to find all that, right? All you had to do is open up the PCA and just start looking, and you immediately have questions. So, but I'm so glad somebody did this.
one of those that I wrote early on is this. We know, steer me, because I really don't know what's in the public eye. I don't know what's on social media. I don't follow the YouTube. I don't really know. I wanted to shield myself because I don't care about other people's opinions. I wanted to show the facts. Then those people can look at these. So to your original question about Ethan Chapin, everyone knows Ethan Chapin was killed on the second floor bed in Xana's bedroom on the second floor. Photographs have been released. He died in bed, and there are two major problems with how and where he died. We'll get to both of them. One of those was that he rolled to his right side, and his right hand fell down between the mattress and the wall. So if we assume he was facing the door when the killer entered, he retreated, fell to the right. Retreated is the wrong word. We'll talk about the mechanism. He rolled to his right, and he died, as we know now, facing the wall on his right side. Okay, this is important.
Oh my. Sorry. Got to stop it again, guys.
Yes. When he did that, his right hand fell between the mattress and the wall. When police investigated that scene, there's a photograph of the original state that Nunez saw, Officer Nunez saw in the body cam video, which is public now, right? Everybody's seen that. He walks in and he sees all of this is on the body cam video, and all of this is documented during the processing of the crime scene. So Ethan rolled to his right, or Ethan was found lying on his right side with his arm against the wall. His hand was down between the wall and the mattress, and they processed the body. When they process any body in a murder situation, they typically bag the hands to retain evidence, uncorrupted evidence of some DNA under somebody's fingernails. You might have blood or tissue under your fingernails. So one of the first things you do in processing a crime scene with the victims is to put paper bags and tape them around the victim's hands. Okay. So we have photographs of that entire process. Then there are photographs of removing the body, of moving. Sorry, I don't mean to be callous about this. This is a young man. This is a human being. Ethan's body.
Sure.
When they moved him from the bed, and you can see documented in police photographs that his arm is lying down against the frame of the bed. So the mattress, this is all important. The mattress is on a frame. The frame is against the wall, and it's a white wooden frame. So anything on that frame stands out. His hand is clenched kind of like this. It's a fist that has relaxed.
Right.
My interpretation would be it's not an open hand. It's not, he's at autopsy, his hand is like this. And this will be very, very important. So you can see a photograph of his hand where it has fallen down between the wall and the mattress, and it is resting on the white wooden bed frame. You with me?
Yes.
And there are slats that go across. So you can see specifically his hand was found on a specific slat, cross slat, against the long arm of the bed frame. So you can.
So obviously, but he got to see all crime photos without being redacted because we didn't see all this stuff. So
tell with very, very specifically where his hand was, the shape of his hand, and that there was a large pool of dried blood beneath his hand. Okay.
Yeah.
Most people would say, okay, he was found that way. So I started looking deeper, and I started to realize that when they took the body away, you could still see the bed frame. And I zoomed in on the photograph, and I thought to myself, that's hair. There is a large pool, large meaning, I'm going to say 4 to 5 inch pool of blood that is dried. Within that is a fairly significant clump of human hair. And that, people will say, well, you're not a forensic psychologist or a forensic pathologist. And I would say, you're right, but I do have the lab reports. It says it was, what it was.
Yeah.
The hair, I would estimate the hair is somewhere between 6 and 8 inches in length. And it is sort of a dark blonde. It is not, it is not Koberger's hair. And I say that not as a generalization, but based on the laboratory reports.
So he's saying just by what he could see that it was not, Brian's hair. So I think that's interesting. I do. And I still don't get why they wouldn't test this. And I hate the fact I can't see chat. So I can't see anything, guys. Sorry.
Here's where it gets weird. They take the body, they bag the hands, they take it, they process it. And I have in my possession, I haven't sent it to you or anybody else, a picture of his hand at autopsy, which is the same hand and the same shape. And it has a clump of human hair that matches the hair seen in the photograph in his hand. And it was tested for type and for color, but not for DNA. Okay. So
why would they not test that? Like what is the reasoning for why they would not test this? I had to switch back over to see chat here, but like what the trying to I'm blown away with this right now. I don't see why they would not have tested this item.
Well, Chrissy, there's nothing to see.
You're cutting out. There's nothing to see. Is that what you said? You're cutting out.
Than that.
I was being
Like
smart.
it needs to get more compelling than that.
How much more compelling can it get?
Okay, I'm trying to skip ahead again. Sorry, I don't want to. I hate to skip through them talking, but I don't want to get us a strike. So, is there more interview? I would think so. Or is that just what we're going to get for right now? I don't see anything else. Yeah. Okay. Is that all we got? Is that all that they go over? Yeah. Okay. You think that's it? Okay. Well, that's going to be interesting because he has a full interview, but when's he going to play that one? Do you know, SRB or anybody? At the last 2 minutes? Okay. We'll go. Let's see. We can.
Chapin was found with a clump of blonde hair in his hand, and it wasn't Brian Koberger's. Let's take a listen to that as we head out. Thank you for coming tonight to another Crimes After Dark. I hope you appreciate this.
Saying that the Moscow Police Department were some of the finest investigators in the world. They did a hell of a job for what they had, but they don't have the resources, right? It's a town of 26,000 people or something, Moscow.
Yeah.
And they have a certain number of officers with specific responsibilities that do not include quadruple homicide on a Sunday morning. Right. So they went to the Idaho State Police, who have a crime lab, who have seasoned investigators, who have evidence response teams. They have more resources. When the investigation exceeded those resources, they went to the FBI, which we all know spends $10 billion a year, I think, is their budget. And they have the lab at Quantico, and they have the critical incident response group where I worked. They have the behavioral assessment unit, analysis unit, BAU4, which handled most of this. VICAP, the Violent Criminal Apprehension Program, when I was in the FBI, I helped start that program and have all those reports. So the point of the story is, I went back and said, what do I see in this case that presents not just red flags, but tsunamis of what the hell's going on here?
The whole
And
case.
one of those that I wrote early on is this. We know, steer me, because I really don't know what's in the public eye. I don't know what's on social media. I don't follow the YouTube. I don't really know. I wanted to shield myself because I don't care about other people's opinions. I wanted to show the facts. Then those people can look at these. So to your original question about Ethan Chapin, everyone knows Ethan Chapin was killed on the second floor bed in Xana's bedroom on the second floor. Photographs have been released. He died in bed, and there are two major problems with how and where he died. We'll get to both of them. One of those was that he rolled to his right side, and his right hand fell down between the mattress and the wall. So if we assume he was facing the door when the killer entered, he retreated, fell to the right. Retreated is the wrong word. We'll talk about the mechanism. He rolled to his right, and he died, as we know now, facing the wall on his right side. Okay, this is important. Yes. When he did that, his right hand fell between the mattress and the wall. When police investigated that scene, there's a photograph of the original state that Nunez saw, Officer Nunez saw in the body cam video, which is public now, right? Everybody's seen that. He walks in and he sees all of this is on the body cam video, and all of this is documented during the processing of the crime scene. So Ethan rolled to his right, or Ethan was found lying on his right side with his arm against the wall.
Why can't like, why isn't this like a violation of something? Like, my brain's not working right now, but the fact that there was this ball of hair that was never tested, can't Anne fight this?
Like, yeah, but I think he's having to do it like behind the scenes. Like, I think that's how they're having to do it, because the judge took out, somebody in the chat said something about why did he say he did it alone. He may not have had anything to do with it. I'm not saying he didn't. I'm not saying he didn't know. But what I'm saying is the plea deal was taken again because the judge literally was taking if you cannot talk about anybody else, if nobody else's DNA, that clump of hair, none of that was going to be mentioned in the trial, y'all. So the jury would never hear that. We know that, but that jury would never hear that. So that is what I'm saying. I can never be on a jury. Never, because when I get asked, have I looked into it? Am I going to? You're damn right I am. Because y'all ain't fixing to get okey doke me. I want to know everything. I think it should be illegal for them to take anything out. If it was absolutely absurd and proven there was no way there was nobody else, if the man was on camera doing the murder himself, okay. But like with that FedEx case with that little girl, it would be ridiculous for them to let something else in, probably because it's on audio. Like, you know what he did. I can't even go there with that case because I'm not, but I'll get sick. But y'all, I mean, I don't know if Judge Hippler was compromised. I don't know what's going. They all have to be either stupid or compromised.
Well, I don't see how.
Not like Nunez and stuff, because I think he did the best. He was very young and he needs some help. Not every one of those cops are corrupt. That's not what I think. I do not think that man is. I think that man is fucked up the rest of his life now. But Judge Hippler, there's no way. I don't understand how Judge Hippler even sleeps. He can't believe the shit he said he believes. I mean, in my opinion, maybe I'm wrong, but I don't see how he believes that. And Mom, I don't know what you're talking about as a bald-faced lie, but I can't guarantee you this man ain't lying, but this man just literally not stutter over anything about that picture of Ethan and everything else. And he's got the pictures, said he would show it to whoever. He's not been on social media, so he don't know that those photos are redacted to where we can't see whatever he saw. I have no idea how he saw them. I don't know if it's legal. I would think it is, because he's coming out and he's wrote a book that is non-fiction. So he probably could get sued if he was lying, I would think. I don't know how that shit works, because
Yeah. No. That's what I don't get, is how a judge could see this and not question himself on why that hair was not tested. And I mean, so many things, but that alone, like, I just don't see how a judge could be like, oh, okay, well, he had a big ball of hair in his hand, but we're just going to act like it's debris and it's nothing. And we're just like, Hello? What the fuck? We'll finish this.
His hand was down between the wall and the mattress, and they process the body. When they process any body in a murder situation, they typically bag the hands to retain evidence, uncorrupted evidence of some DNA under somebody's fingernails. You might have blood or tissue under your fingernails. So one of the first things you do in processing a crime scene with the victims is to put paper bags and tape them around the victim's hands. Okay. So we have photographs of that entire process. Then there are photographs of removing the body, of moving. Sorry, I don't mean to be callous about this. This is a young man. This is a human being. Ethan's body.
Sure.
When they moved him from the bed, and you can see documented in police photographs that his arm is lying down against the frame of the bed. So the mattress. This is all important. The mattress is on a frame. The frame is against the wall, and it's a white wooden frame. So anything on that frame stands out. His hand is clenched kind of like this. It's a fist that has relaxed.
Right.
My interpretation would be it's not an open hand. It's not. He's at autopsy. His hand is like this, and this will be very, very important. So you can see a photograph of his hand where it has fallen down between the wall and the mattress, and it is resting on the white wooden bed frame. You with me?
Yes.
And there are slats that go across. So you can see specifically his hand was found on a specific cross slat against the long arm of the bed frame. So you can tell with very, very specifically where his hand was, the shape of his hand, and that there was a large pool of dried blood beneath his hand. Okay. Yeah. Most people would say, okay, he was found that way. So I started looking deeper, and I started to realize that when they took the body away, you could still see the bed frame. And I zoomed in on the photograph, and I thought to myself, that's hair. There is a large pool, large meaning, I'm going to say 4 to 5 inch pool of blood that is dried. Within that is a fairly significant clump of human hair. And that, people will say, well, you're not a forensic psychologist or a forensic pathologist, and I would say you're right, but I do have the lab reports. It says it was, what it was. Yeah. The hair, I would estimate the hair is somewhere between 6 and 8 inches in length, and it is sort of a dark blonde. It is not. It is not Koberger's hair, and I say that not as a generalization, but based on the laboratory reports. Here's where it gets weird. They take the body, they bag the hands, they take it, they process it, and I have in my possession, I haven't sent it to you or anybody else, a picture of his hand at autopsy, which is the same hand and the same shape, and it has a clump of human hair that matches the hair seen in the photograph in his hand. And it was tested for type and for color, but not for DNA. Okay, so, but it gets more compelling than that.
Interesting. Very interesting. I can't wait to see more of that. That was interesting. Thank you. Hey, Juan. Hey. Good to see you here. Thank you.
I've never heard Ann Taylor say that she had everything or that she had been through everything. Y'all do realize that there was more information, evidence in this case than there was in the Epstein case. Y'all do realize that, right?
Yeah.
Most of it was crap, probably, but they dumped it on Ann Taylor. The first thing is, if no bias was to be given, the prosecution should have gotten trouble for the way they freaking did that evidence over. Because they did what they did on purpose as a dump in a way to cause all of that. And Ann Taylor has to go through every single thing.
You're right.
Plus, her mom died. Yeah. Her mom died right before, too, all of this. Like, one of the last hearings I had, her mom had just died.
Yep. Yeah, I forgot, like Juan said too, that, Ann didn't get everything until literally right before the plea. So I honestly think that, a good half of this stuff, the poor lady, they never even got to see. So that it's just crazy to me that Hi, Bubs. Hi, Momo's thinking. Holly Berry, love Tina. Cat Farm, Leah, Ro, Lucy, CT Girl, SRB, Juan. Anybody I've missed? Hello, welcome. Thank you all for being here. Please make sure you smash our like button. I think I finally might have gotten over my phobia of going live, so maybe I might be back on more often now. And for anybody, I did say it at the beginning, I know a lot of you just coming in. I am still waiting on our Lakeland, 2 interviews for Lakeland, and the interview for the chicken boy, the AA that cut his hand. He said but on chicken, and his buddy said no, it was on a window. I believe his name is Austin. I'm still waiting for them. It's been a month since I paid for that for you, and we still haven't got anything. And I messaged her last week, I think it was, and she said she was still working on it. I sent an email this morning, and I haven't heard anything because, it is still only early morning.
I'm going to tell you this. I'm going to start helping her with the FOIA and the cost, and I'm not saying for people who can't, that's fine, but we need to get together a fund because this stuff, they did this pricing thing to keep people, they were trying to keep people from getting this stuff. But y'all do realize some of this stuff is listed as a national security risk, so we can't get the information.
Thank you, Mike.
If it's just Brian Kohlberger and he's just some crazy, lone, jealous killer, then what the fuck are we, national security? What? So that should trigger, there's stuff that we are going to have a hard time getting, but I know there's a lot of stuff that everybody wants, and everybody in this economy is having problems, and they ask ridiculous prices. I know Jules has paid a lot of money for some stuff that didn't even have, it was stupid. Okay. And they do that on purpose, as we see. Yes, it does take them work to have to get this stuff, but it's taking them more work to go figure out what they got to cover up. So I'm just saying, in my opinion. And they are playing it like stupid in our face. Just saying.
Yeah. My payment info is in my description. I'm trying to get on. I seen Sleuther asked me. I do Cash App, Venmo, or PayPal, any of them. Like I said, it's always greatly appreciated. When I put in the FOIA, which I think most of you know, but me and Connor kind of work together with certain things and that. And when we were putting together lists, because I'll think of one, he'll think of one. So we usually put together at least, 5 to 10 people on each list and then put in a FOIA for it. And the reason he does way more than I do because he can afford to pay for the FOIAs. I really can't.
Yeah. And that's what I'm saying. I have Cash App, but I don't care. I monetize. I still don't make, because I don't have a bunch of people. I ain't trying to. I don't care. People donate to Christy because she puts a lot of money in this. I'm going to start helping her get FOIAs, but I'm just telling everybody on some of this stuff that everybody's wanting to see, the bigger stuff, we may have to say, hey, we need help, and we'll show receipts where we're doing it. You know what I'm saying? But if everybody's wanting it, because we all do need to see it, but some of this stuff is ridiculous, and we're not able to see what they're going to give us before they give it to us. So it's
Yeah. I think that, like I said, Lakeland, we'll have 2 Lakelands and then the AA interview. In my list, one of the people I did ask for and I did get a price for was that Moreland girl that we just read in the messages. So I need to go look and see what that one was. I'm thinking hers was only like $80 or $90 or something, because I want to see what she has to say too, since we see that she was in there.
Can we do a FOIA request? And no, I do not think Ethan's brother and sister, poor thing, it's his sister. And I think his brother, I do not think they knew or had anything to do with it. But I'm saying, can we FOIA their interviews, or has anybody done that?
For who?
Ethan's brother and sister.
Yeah, they were, I'm trying to
And they
think.
may deny them, y'all. And if they do deny them, like I understand because it is touchy with that. But I wish Xana's sister. I wish people wouldn't act a fool toward these people and that we could get them, but somebody's going to act a fool toward them. And I don't agree with that at all, period. They went through enough. I'm saying, though, I just want to know what's said. The reason, especially with Maisie, is because the way she was looking at Dylan, like, I just want to know what was said, you know.
Yeah. Lucy dropped some of my links. Thank you, Lucy. I think she got them all out there. Like I said, it's not expected. It is greatly appreciated, and it does help. And I do show you guys on my last bunch, you know, I will show you screenshots on, you know, what I paid, how much I got, and everything else. But I did learn that Moscow is good for when it's done. You get an email and like, I'm expecting a certain price because you pay half and then the other half when it's done. The last batch on Connor, they upped his price $300 more.
Yeah, that should be illegal because they are fucking reaching. And see, that's what makes me mad, y'all. I understand that it takes people to get these files, but they are making money still off these. And people want to talk about people on YouTube making money off of their names. This police department shit, they are just racking this shit on up. That's crazy to me. Absolutely absurd. And see, I bet you we can't. I want to FOIA stuff from the university, but I mean, we can try. I guarantee we ain't gonna be able to get that though.
Yeah, and Juan, you're right. And that's the thing, Juan. If you like, there's certain things like I know what I wanted, and when I first would put it in, I was always just like vague and to the point, like, yo, I want, you know, 112 footage. You know, because I was new at it. But over time, I've learned that's the biggest things with these FOIAs. They have probably everything we're asking for, but if you do not word that FOIA exactly right, they deny you. Because there was an interview or there was something I went for, one of Molly's videos, and when I asked for it my first time, I just said like a Molly pullover on this date, and I just left it as that. And I got told there was none. Well, I'm like, no bullshit, because I seen it. I knew there was one. Well, then I realized it was my wording. So I went back in and I reworded it. And then as long as you're like adding report number, like you gotta be, they're picky and they make sure that they make you say it exactly, because you miss out on a few words and then all of a sudden, nope, we don't have that. Sorry.
That's like, their way to keep you, to try to deter people from wanting it. But has anybody, while I'm thinking about this, Emma Bailey, where did they go to jail at? Her and Demetrius. I wonder if we can, and that we probably won't be able to get them. That shit with that Caden or whatever his name is. I want to FOIA whatever. I want to FOIA whatever records they have. Both of them.
I do have some. I don't know. I don't think I have that, but that was in Washington State, I believe. That they got pulled over, Layton County. Okay.
And then the Mowich, I don't. Can we? You can't FOIA. How do you do a autopsy? Do you have to FOIA that? And I don't know. I think somebody tried to get that. I think Natasha. I don't remember, but somebody. I want to try to get it though. His, because so we know his exact cause of death.
With Mowich.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, we can put in anywhere. Like I said, when I got that DMV footage, if you, like everybody probably did, or maybe a lot of people didn't think about it, I don't know. But when you just FOIA the police station, you know, Washington, and ask for it, they don't have it. So they just tell you no. You know, so that's how they're tricky on stuff. But you had to actually go to the DMV themselves and ask for it, which I thought was really weird, because wasn't everything turned over to Moscow and you're supposed to get everything through them? So I don't know if they messed up when they released that to me, and maybe they weren't supposed to. I don't know, but I didn't get that through through Moscow Pullman. I actually got that straight from the DMV themselves. Which is crazy to me, but like I said,
did they interview Quinn Kelly? Because I wonder.
There's a FOIA in for to see.
Yeah, because I really want to know that. I really.
Connor put
and
in
Dylan's dad. I won't. I really.
Connor just put in for the Davids. Connor the Chestnut. This last batch that we put together, it's a good one. Kara Canoodle.
Oh, did you watch Jules' thing where that London girl, and I can't with London. That interview either. That she did, that girl literally, if I was that girl that was being interviewed, I would come on here and say that was drunk or all the way messed up on any kind of drugs there was, and just eat that shit because she sounded like a damn fool. But I mean, she did. Like, what are you? It's like she was trying to. I don't know. All that shit's crazy to me. The shit that these people say, I'm real confused. But she did say that there was a argument between, or there was hot. I don't know how she put it. Basically, she was trying to go around the world about a conflict between I can't stand like I cannot. I want to choke his ass. But anyways, trigger warning, not trigger warning. I want to choke his ass. I can't stand that motherfucker. I don't know why. The look he get, I cannot. He makes my fucking eye twitch. But anyways, she said that there was a issue, and the reason there was an issue is because I don't remember exactly her exact words, but because there was an emotional connection with a female, it's got to be Xana, that one had a little bit of, but it wasn't as intense as the other one had, and there was that kind of conflict there. So that makes me wonder about whoever the hell the quote unquote, what was that girl's name that said Ethan told Ethan that he was being cheated on, which I think is baloney, but
Erica. Erica.
Yeah, Erica. Those quotes around that's not her fucking name. Those quotes tell all. Who the fuck anyway? But that might have been not said with Erica. So, but who in the fuck is Erica? Anyway.
Well, we're gonna try for that and see the Ford Explorer. I have FOIA'd 4 different times for 4.
Ethan had a Jeep, didn't he? I was so confused about that. Didn't Ethan have a damn Jeep?
Yeah, but they all drove each other's. They had the Jeep and the Explorer. And they pretty much Hunter and Maisie had the Explorer, and I thought Ethan drove the Jeep, but I think something was wrong with the Jeep or something if I heard, and he was driving the black vehicle, which, like I said, I was trying to look back. It was roughly around, what was it, like 2:00 when they said about that vehicle returning to 1122. If so, that is not the black vehicle.
No, I think this black SUV, that the one that weird next door neighbor, I can't remember his damn name, whatever his name is, was talking about, I don't think it's the same one.
Yeah. See, well, I was trying to pinpoint on whether Eric Gowers, if that was the Chapin's vehicle, or if he was talking about one out on the road. But how these messages are saying, then it wouldn't have been the same.
Who took Katie and Maddie to the bar? How did Katie and Maddie get to the bar? Didn't Eric take them? Because this says that they were in a Prius to get there, but he was in what?
Yeah,
I'm confused. Yeah, to switch cars? I'm lost with that.
No. See, yeah, Ethan drove all night, and that's exactly, Lucy, that's where my head's going. I thought because Maisie's event, they all rode in the black Explorer. Yes, Ethan drove the black one. They went to the Hunga Dunga and all that. And then they went back to Sigma Chi, which is where the messages showed like he literally pulled in and pulled right back out, because it was like 1 second he was there, 1 second he was leaving there. And then where'd they go to?
Because Xana didn't go to
They went
that Sadie, whatever Ethan lived to his sister.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think Xana went.
I was just trying to pinpoint when they were trying to.
No, I'm talking to your mom, because mom's thinking, she was asking why didn't he ride with Xana, and I was, because she didn't go to that.
No, she didn't.
That I know of.
But like you said, there was a point where, what was it, 2:00 when Xana was calling Ethan, and Ethan wasn't answering. If they were together over at Sigma Chi, I mean, maybe they just got separated and they were calling each other, but I don't know, something strange right there. Something just has me going, But I guess,
and like I said, there's a reason that Bethany will not talk. She will not step foot in Idaho. That lets everybody know right there. I don't care. Brian Koberger could very well have something to do with it. I can't swear the man don't. But it's not just Brian Koberger, because that Bethany won't even step foot in Idaho. So there's something.
Yeah. So,
and I don't think it's 20-year-old frats that's scaring her. Like, they are mini Masons, but I don't think it's that. I just cannot with that. I don't know why these people did this, but that Mowich, and I'm telling y'all, when I saw that man, I literally, my chest, like, I was like, I started crying. I said, oh my God, he did it. And you know what I mean? God rest his soul, no matter what, because people die. I don't know what to say about that, but because he did pass away. But y'all, I don't believe in coincidences. And that's just, because I don't think that he was supposed to take them out. I do not think they were supposed to be taken out. I think they were supposed to be scared so they'd shut the fuck up. I think that man is off his rocker and violent anyway and been in prison over and over. And I think he did it. And y'all do know that his son, his biological son that was adopted out when he was younger, lives by the 1122 house somewhere. I don't remember exactly where. Because they were questioning, there was something about his car or something. His son's car.
In the Queen Apartments.
Yeah, I couldn't remember exactly where.
Yeah,
but y'all, it's a police report with Farley saying, and you know, it makes sense that somebody was Farley, I see you, because Farley was told the police that Mowich was assigned to go to that house. He supervised the shipments, whatever the hell you want to call it. I'm not tech on this DRUG, whatever the freak they call this shit they're doing, supervising whatever. I do not think the four were Dylan. I really think Dylan and Quinn were. I could be wrong. Maybe none of them were. Maybe somebody was coming in there. I don't fucking know. I can't explain why I think what I think. I just think it.
No, it's not.
I do think, y'all, when they traffic one thing, nowadays they traffic the other. You know what I mean? They don't just traffic product, they traffic people too. So, I think it's all connected. I think there was higher ups connected, and I don't think it has so much to do with the brotherhood, quote unquote. But if you watch the OG brotherhood from 20 years ago, talking about the new ones, they do things all the way fucking weird and fucked up, they said. So where used to this wouldn't happen this way, it does these days, you know. I don't think it's connected directly to that. I don't think it's connected to Xana's mama or Maddie's dad. It could be a little bit, but they would have went after them. Xana wasn't even talking to her mom at the time. I mean, I'm sure that, you know, but.
Word up, I agree with your comment. I think there's a lot less to this. I really think we're overthinking it. Way too big, way bigger than what it is. I mean, I
think it's a bigger picture in a whole, but I think there is a lot less that they got murdered for than when. But I think they were all targets for different reasons, though, too. Like, knowing too much, talking about it, and not really realizing that you're I think Kaylee really wanted to make something stop. You know what I mean? And I think she got in too deep and didn't know it, which is sad. And
Yeah.
there was something with Ethan. The sports team at Idaho is real weird. There's something going on with some, I don't know, I can't pinpoint. But there's something, I think some of them guys wanted Xana really bad. And I think they were mean to Ethan. That's just me. I'm not saying Ethan was perfect and never did wrong. I'm just saying that I think people wanted to cause problems between him and Xana because where light shines and their love story is like better than any Cinderella story. I tell their love story when I want to inspire people. Okay. Literally. I'm a dork. I know. I can't help it.
A Twizzle Stick made it to the chat.
Imagine
that. Wow.
Lord, I thought, well, you know, he's up there. I thought they kidnapped his ass because, you know, we don't see him anywhere. So I didn't know what was going on.
He's in his basement. What are you talking about? He's in Lucy's basement.
Lucy.
But no, Juan, I've always said that too. If she was so scared, Dylan was just so scared, why would you not be calling your boyfriend? And she never called.
Because her boyfriend was already on his way from, where's that fucking place in Idaho? I thought it was Washington, but it's Idaho. What's that place called? Twiz, what's that damn place? You talk about it all the time. Lewiston. 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 And Ray literally says, I didn't know this. He does not call out Quinn, but he does sort of. But he says that the group A of the people closest to the roommates or some shit like that, or the circle closest to the 4, group A, whatever, that there was somebody coming from Lewiston that would put him there at the time of the, you know.
Mm-hmm. Even after, yeah.
And I do believe that was the case because the university, like, and I think that there's pedophile, that stupid, ugly ass, whatever the hell he weird looking scary ass man that them girls called that. Ugh. There's a issue again, satanic child molesters. Okay. They all run together. If y'all don't think, Masons is a fraternity, is a fraternal order. If y'all don't think that all this Sigma Chi and all this shit they chant, all of them are mini Masons, and that's what they teach them. You can blackmail somebody and get your way, and money is power, and screw all the middle class. We'll just take them out, or they can be our slaves. And if y'all don't think that's the truth, I don't know where y'all at today. I don't know what's going on.
I agree.
We have a president that thinks he's Jesus. A president that thinks he's Jesus.
She's going off. Just bear with her. She'll calm down in a minute.
I will. We are terrorists because we killed a bunch of 9 to 12-year-old Iranian girls. Yay, we killed terrorists. Are you fucking serious? And God wanted them to do that. It's okay. These people have, I wish somebody tell me I was crazy again, because that shit right there that people regurgitate out their mouth sounds like they are more than off their damn rocker. And we walk around with these people every day. It was an accident. How? There wasn't a fucking, that's not a military target, and nothing around that was a military target. I don't give a shit if their government is terrorist or not. Them little girls are not terrorists. And I don't think God thinks it's cool. United States of Israel is what we are becoming. And if nobody believes that, don't tell me I'm right. And I don't want that. Please go find the answers. Please don't listen to me. Unprogram yourself. Desensitize yourself and look every situation, even the shit you don't want to listen to. You got to look at all sides of it. You got to.
She's running it. I can't mute her. Sorry.
God, the God in the Bible, the God in the Christian Bible loves war, but I'm not sure who the hell that is, because that's not the unloving God. Because the unconditional loving God that is all knowing and all being and all powerful, jealousy is a human emotion. So I'm just saying that is called fear and programming.
Heather, well, if that's the case, man, there's a lot of them out there, because there's some weird looking people, right? But no, I wonder, Juan, how you said about her.
Damn terrorist. I don't know if you can base it on looks or not, but we can't even get mad about their fucking government being terrorist, because guess what? let me educate y'all on something. We're the fucking reason those people are in power. You want to know why? Because we wanted their oil. So please don't tell me America better look in the damn mirror. We can't be fighting terrorists when we are terrorists. Well, I'm not. Our army, our military is not. They get told what to do. I support our military. I don't support the satanic, child molesting, geriatric government we have that think they're, I don't fucking know. They're not even running anyway.
Okay. Okay.
I cannot.
Back to Idaho. Anyhow.
And they're all satanic, evil child molesters too. That's why they call that man daddy, which is, ugh, I hate that shit. That's gross. Okay, I'm done now.
Yeah, they're all weird.
I wish the fuck I would ever call. And any parent that's okay with their kid calling that Scott dude who looks like a fucking, I don't know, plastic or something, daddy, if they're okay with that, then oh, I don't know.
Yeah. Hey guys, you ever looking, Jenna? You know what, one I've a long time ago I did look into Jonah Chapin, but I didn't go too far with that one. I actually think I forgot and kind of stopped digging, but was Jesse's Bailey right man? Yep, he makes appearance in the food truck. Yep. Yeah. I'm gonna say if anyone has any connection to terrorists, it's Kaylee, and not mean she is on the bad side, meaning she had clearance. Yeah. Yeah, I agree with you there. But yeah, daddy, she means is Scott Perky because of how they that is weird to call. I don't know why you would. That just gives me bad vibes from the start. You don't call that Daddy Green. I don't think so.
What's even about that is people, parents and shit were making excuses on why it was okay. Has anybody stopped and looked at the world we're in? We have people making excuses. You're okay with your kid. Look, maybe I'm just a damn fucking idiot, but I'm just telling y'all now, my mama would burn that whole damn town down if I called somebody daddy like that. Oh, Lord Jesus. That is disgusting, by the way. I don't give a fuck what kind of sick fantasy you've got. That shit is gross.
It's nice to see you here, Fleas. I haven't got to see you for a while. But no, if you want to call yourself daddy, you call yourself daddy in your own little private area. I don't want to call you daddy.
I don't give a fuck if you paid me $1 billion. I'm not calling you that. I will shoot myself in the head. I promise you, I will take myself all the way out first. I promise. That is disgusting. Like that is. I can't. Nope.
No. Oh my. So have you guys dug into all the new docs and everything? The ones I was posting about that Maxwell kid that passed from, they said, took his own life Friday night at Washington, or it was WSU. And we never heard a thing about that. But I tried to watch a little bit of Lana lately to see her go over them, but I seen a few things.
I go in Kane sometimes. He been mad at me because I just had to back away from everything for a while because I was like, look, I don't know. This thing was driving me crazy. I was really losing my hair and stuff. But has anybody seen Hunter Johnson? Because he looked awful. I hope he looks a little bit better. And if there's something going on, he looked, oh my God. I thought he was dying. I did.
Yeah. Uncensored, no. It was at WSU, and I don't know if they hung themselves or how. What I read, it said that the boy was depressed and he took his own life. Is how they worded it. So I'm not quite sure, but I know that it has been said about, different things, a rope and stuff like that, but it was done over at that college, not even, over by them at all. But it was just, you know what I mean? A death that we didn't hear about that I thought was like, wow, just more things that they hide from everything. Cause they didn't want that out at the time. They had that right there. Then they had the 4, 2 days later. That's just crazy.
I have another question. Whatever happened with Kaylee's daddy and talking about they watched Kaylee and Maddie get out of the car and take Murphy out? Whatever happened, I'm confused about how that happened and nobody. Is that real or no? Because I still haven't figured that out yet.
Yeah, supposedly there's no camera that shines the house for them to have seen. Olivia was just, she
That's
had
what I
to
thought.
have been guessing at what they did. I don't know. I don't know where the hell they would get that from.
Well, why would they say they could see it? And that's because I'm like, well, fuck, if they can see that, then why then, why would that? I do not understand. I mean, I cannot comprehend this case. I'm just stuttering over here because I'm just not going to believe that these parents don't want this case solved right. I cannot go there. Maybe I'm an idiot, but I cannot. If I do, then that makes me lose hope in the world. Like there's just no hope. There is all my hope for this world just disappears if those parents, like it cannot. I don't want to know. I need to just. I'm so confused about this. I need them to act right. So. That's selfish of me, but I really do, or I'm going to lose my mind because I can't. And Heather, what would be the point of doing that to Kaylee post-mortem? Please, anybody explain that to me because I know it's significant, but I think I know why, but I just need somebody to tell me why.
I wasn't paying attention, but okay. I'm trying to go back on chat and read what you're all talking about in here. I seen somebody else did mention this too. I don't know who said it now. Sorry, I can't say who said it, whoever you are. But why have we never heard one thing about Steve Jr. being at the college that weekend or there that night? Or, I mean, he did go to school there. Where was he? Was he at this college, or was he back home, or where was he? It's never been said where he was, or if it has, I mean, I haven't heard it, but where the hell was little Steve at? He goes to school there. So wouldn't you think he would have been there? He was pretty sure Christy said he was at their house. Yeah. So he was home for the weekend for the game and that, I guess. It's never really been talked about. And that's what I thought was strange was where the hell is he been at? They didn't talk about it. So I don't know. But yeah, you only hear about Olivia and Kaylee. Exactly. He would have got the vandal out. Yep. That's the other thing I was thinking. Well, he goes to the school, so he would have got the vandal at 1 o'clock. So for them to say they didn't know what was going on until 5 o'clock in the afternoon or 4 o'clock when the cops showed up or whatever it was, well, there's another lie because Steve Jr. would have got the vandal alert. And I'm going to bet you freaking Christy or Steve probably got it too. I mean, that's, notifications from the school. Maybe some of the parents, would get them too. So they knew about it and they chose just not to drive down, which blows my mind. Yep. Money.
I will say this now. Christy did say that Maddie's mama was on the way there or whatever.
Yeah.
And then they were told when they called the police station not to go down there, but my mama wouldn't have been asking nobody shit. She would have just, and me too. But people, I guess, are different. So I try to, maybe they really didn't think they were dead. You know what I mean? Because in your mind, this shit's not like, I don't know. Maybe that could have been a reaction though that.
I'm sorry. The moment that I would have been on the phone with my niece and my niece would have been telling me that stuff, my shoes would have been getting put on. I'd have been grabbing my purse. And I'd have been yelling, Steve, let's go. And we would have been on our in route. I would not.
Some people don't react that way. Like, you know what I mean? Like Christy said, she threw the phone because she was trying to get away from it. And so I do understand that. I don't know if it would have done them any good to go. I mean, to me, they probably should have, but should they? You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know. I just don't know. I don't know. I don't know if there's a right or wrong answer to that, really.
No, I think that's what everybody else, what you personally would do yourself on that. But I just can't imagine setting hours and not knowing, or knowing in, I mean, I guess, what are you going to do? There's not much you can at that point. But Christy even admits she was never at 1122. I don't know. This just would have made me go down. I would have been down there to see this place. I would have been down there to find out I'd been down there asking people what went on that night. I'd have been that annoying parent, and you better believe I would have been annoying the whole damn time. I would not have stopped.
My mama would have got Dylan before anybody had a chance to protect Dylan or Ben. Like, my mama would have went. It wouldn't have been talked first. You know, my mama would have blew up that time. I'm telling you, she would. It would have been ugly. So, that was her. She was very unhinged, and she wouldn't ask nobody shit. Okay, she would not be asking. She wouldn't be asking them to talk to anybody. She'd just be talking to them, and that's just her. That was how she was. So.
Oh, we're just babbling about Idaho. That's about it. Stuart says, what are y'all babbling about? Here in Unite.
The case should have, with the plea deal, like all these people preach, well, it should be over now. It is. I guess you haven't read the documents, because if you had, and I know a lot of people that were on one side of the guilty and all this stuff started coming out, and they're like, wait the hell a minute. When you have more questions and it goes further away from the person that they have, I mean, I don't know, but it's frustrating. So our justice department, I just don't know, but it scares me, because if Brian Koberger is a patsy and he can be a patsy, my Lord, I can't make it in prison. This is why I have to stay at home and not go nowhere and just, see, good Lord.
No, I can't. I couldn't imagine you in prison either. No, nope.
Especially for some shit I didn't do, because I'd be worried about who did this to. I don't know. I'm crazy, so.
Yeah, see, that meaning that's how I would have been going to the neighbors. I would have been fucking. Sorry. I would have been. Let me see your camera. I mean, I'd be going to their friends. I would have been like, I don't think I could have sat there at my house, especially hearing, they're shot, then they're this, then they're that. Like, no, my ass would have been down there. My ass would have been on the phone with JD. That's another one that blows my mind. Why did he not contact them? Like, you know what I mean? When he's at the scene and he knows there's a problem, why is he not at least sending a text like, something's wrong, get down here, something? But by everything we say, there's no communication with him and them until, like, what they say later that evening or something, he came. But I don't get why he never contacted them. Yeah, Sandra, that's what I'm saying. God, at least Kober could not have done it alone. No. I mean,
Ethan's brother even contacted his mama. You know what I mean? She couldn't understand what he was saying, because he was just telling her Ethan wouldn't hear anymore, and she couldn't understand. But, like, that's the first thing Ethan's brother did, was call his mama. Yeah. So,
Exactly, Lucy. He was in the back of that cop car. He could hear that radio, and he could hear Noon saying, we found 2 more upstairs. He would have known what was going on sitting in the back of that cop car, and he would have messaged them at that, you would think, or called something. I don't get that at all. But, and Juan from the beginning, I was one of them ones, and Lucy will always laugh and call me the guilder and that, because I always thought Brian at least had something to do with this crime, because in my mind, there's just I mean, I was blind to it. I didn't think that corruption could possibly go, and I didn't believe it. So for the longest time, I was bound and determined that Brian was at least there, whether he was the driver, the cleaner, the lookout guy, but I never could put him as the person who physically did this crime because of his OCD-ness with washing his hands. And that right there tells me he would freak out if he got red stuff.
I put him as being the only one to do it because they did not stand in line and wait to die. And I've said that from the get. When they arrested this man and said he was the only one, I said, well, for fuck's sake, they didn't stand in fucking line and he didn't take it. I mean, y'all think that I want you to tell me, I want these people that think he's guilty, just him alone. I want them to stand in my face and look me in my eyes and tell me that Brian Kohberger, the ninja he would have had to fucking be, took on Xana and Ethan and come out just get the fuck out of here. Like that don't even, I see, that's why I don't understand. People say the shit. I can't even say that shit without laughing because that don't even make a fuckload any sense at all. Period.
Yeah, it doesn't. It doesn't. None of it makes sense. But like I said, that's how I always thought of it. And I kept that. I always kept my opinion to myself because it wasn't about Brian. It was about everything on how we were getting there that, that wasn't right. So I never really spoke on how I really thought about it. And I stay open, and I still do. I still stay open to anyway, because none of us really know what happened. So I'm not going to say, nope, you're wrong, or nope, you're wrong, or nope. I'm not going to go and, make videos and talk down on somebody because of their opinion. That's just not how I am. But I will say in the last, whatever it's been year now, I can say that now I do not believe Brian was part of this crime, other than, I don't know, Patsy I don't know, but I don't think he was there.
With his neurological, I don't know if it's no, his bone, the way I don't think he would be capable of doing it, or if he could, not as fast as, I don't know. The man could know something. Maybe he know. I don't know, but he didn't. Look, I don't talk down about anybody, but anybody that tries to convince me this man did it alone has never been able to explain to me, because I always get stuck. Because I just want to know how he wouldn't beat all the fuck the way up. Kaylee, Ben, and Ethan. I mean,
love you too, Lucy. I can't read your comments. She has me over here cracking up laughing. I'm like, damn you, Lucy. But yeah, I don't know. Like I said, at this point, there's so much that's wrong with this case that will we ever get the truth? I'll be shocked if we do. I'll be shocked if we ever get the truth. I think this will be something, if anything comes out about it, it will be that maybe he does get exonerated, but I don't think it'll ever be anybody else.
Well, I mean, I think that we know the truth deep down, you know what I mean? I don't know that we can pinpoint exactly who did it, but I really think the people that did it are not here anymore, or the main people that plan or whatever. I don't really think they're alive anymore. And so they can never try them anyway, but that still does not matter. They've made a joke out of these 4 lives, in my opinion. And it should not piss me off more than it pisses their family off. That's all I'm saying about that. But it pisses me off. If somebody called Kaylee a hoe in my chat, and I about come through the damn everything, because like I told everybody, my opinion will not change if there was proof that they stood on the corner and did every man that stopped at the stop sign 4 times a night. My opinion would still not change them, because I don't care what they did. They didn't deserve that. So it's not going to change. And that's what I think. So the parents really need to realize, nobody's looking down on your kid, because we've all been whatever. And it's not going to change my opinion of them. It's not. So, I don't think they did that at all. I do think they were loving kids. Did they make mistakes? Well, hell yeah, because we all do. But I do think they were innocent of, anybody would be, of deserving what they went through. And honestly, it is sickening to know the people in that fucking town that know what happened can sleep at night.
Yeah. Yep. Yep.
Because it's just,
the people who did this are out there and they're still around, and they're probably still in that town if they're not still here, and they're not one of the ones that have passed, because there's a lot of question with Kopaka. Like, there's so much stuff with him too that I don't know anymore if he's part of this case or not part of this case, but his case alone, there's some major mess ups in. So the whole area has problems, and something needs done, but how? Who? What can we do? I don't know. I don't know. It's just crazy.
I get mad at Dylan sometimes, but I still think, what if she has been threatened? I cannot blame her. If the girl's been threatened, she knows exactly what happened to those 4. She's never going to forget that. She's going to be scared the rest of her life. So if that's the case, then no, I don't blame her for whatever lie she had to tell, because I'm sorry, anybody, if that is the case, then I'm not mad at her, because how can you be? I hope that she's not in something darker than that, being her age. Now, I don't think those tears were fake at the courtroom, but I do think she's scared about something. There's something that somebody is threatening her. I do believe that. And I believe that's her trauma, because it don't make sense for her to have all this trauma from Brian Koberger, like she said, when she's bebopping around the house and ain't even scared. Like, that's absolutely, that's ridiculous. Okay. You can have after fact trauma, but anyway, but I do think she's traumatized from something, because I think those were real tears, and I think she's scared. And Bethany's damn sure scared, because that crazy bitch, she ain't coming nowhere near. I don't think she's come back to Idaho, and I don't think she will. So there's something that is not quite lacking with that, whatever it is.
Yep. And Witchy, I agree. I'm like that too. I try to be sympathetic to Dylan and Bethany, because I mean, they're young, they're kids, they're drunk. Who knows what all they seen, heard, went through? Are they being threatened? We don't know, but I think they know Brian didn't. Brian, he didn't do it alone. We'll put it at that.
And also, we need to blame the police for not questioning Dylan and Bethany the way they should. And it's not Dylan and Bethany's fault. The PCA is a lie, because they didn't write that. So there is a lot I hold the police accountable for, because they didn't do their job. It's not Dylan and Bethany's job to question themselves. They did how many interviews, and they didn't ask the right questions. So I'm not going to shame them for that. But they also didn't prepare them for having to go against Ann Taylor if they would have had to do that, because that would have been brutal to Dylan, I think. And they were going to let her go all the way under that bus. I think they tried to make Dylan look like they helped a lot of people harass that girl, which I don't think she should have been harassed, because that's not the way to handle that. But they made people think what they thought about Dylan. That PCA is proof of that. And Dylan didn't have nothing to do with the PCA, because the police wrote it. So that, to me, is proof that they would go to any extreme to whatever they had to do.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah. My sympathy, I have more sympathy for Bethany than I do Dylan, because I really feel that Bethany was, I think Bethany was like they made sure she was there, but they kept her downstairs, and I don't think she really knew exactly what was going on. And maybe she tried, but then Dylan hit her or wouldn't let her go upstairs. I just get this really weird feeling with her for the fact that she didn't want to come back to Nevada. And when Nunez pulled up where was she? She was across the street by herself standing, and everybody else was standing in the driveway. And to me, that's a flag.
And she knew something when she was telling Dylan she didn't want to go up there. I think she'd already seen it, and she knew she didn't want to do it again. And I think they let her find. I just have a bad feeling Dylan sent her up there, and she saw. There's something. There's really something wrong with her. Like that's not okay. And I feel awful for her because she was the youngest, and I really think it fucked her world all the way up. Nothing will ever be the same.
Yep. Yeah. I mean, that's what I mean. I can have some sympathy for Bethany, but Dylan, I've lost that just, and I don't know. I just lost it for her, for everything. I mean, we see with our own eyes lies and more lies, and stories change, and just and I can't no more. I just can't act like it doesn't bother me, and they're just these two sweet little innocent young kids that which maybe they were, but there's more. There's more, and I think Dylan knows a lot more, and really honestly wouldn't be surprised at all if it had something to do with like her dad, maybe Quinn, or I don't know, because her dad's little comment with, I dare anybody to pick on my girl, they'll find me at their door, always made me wonder, did Dylan get picked on? And did daddy have to come take care of something? And that's why he sent such a strange message in the morning, like somebody said in chat earlier, like, hey, this is a strange message, but this was his way of saying, like, I'm home, coast is clear or something. I don't know. I don't know. There's just something strange about it. Something strange about it all. And I'm just thinking out loud. No facts. All speculation. Just my opinion. Doesn't mean it's true.
Like me and Chrissy was just talking about this, and I said something before. Dylan in the interview told them when she got scared, she called Quinn. Yep. This night she got scared and she didn't call, or at least from the phone that we know of she didn't call Quinn. If she didn't call Quinn, in my mind, and this is just my opinion, if she did not call him, she knew what he was doing, where he was, something. And Quinn kept on saying he's never been to Moscow. That's the stupidest shit I've ever fucking heard in my entire life. And he made it too, like Ashley from the Reckoning Co. said, he published a picture. See here, proof I'm wherever. That threw me off too. Yeah. More than one person had said something about him being in town. So that's why I wanted to FOIA anything on him, which they probably won't give us because of that. But also Dylan's dad and them deleting shit. He's a felon. He knows better than to have her delete. Like, that's weird as fuck to me. Weird as fuck. Yeah. And scheduling phone calls with your kid. I mean, he raced. It's weird. It's all weird. So, and Bethany having a toothache. There was a stranger in your house last night. You're trying to get in touch with your daddy for that is y'all, my mouth. I just sat there and said that I'm being punked, right? Like, what the fuck? A toothache. Y'all, I don't care if they're 18, 19, or 5. How do you go from being terrified? Y'all didn't go upstairs to see. Nobody answered the phone. Nothing is comprehending to me with that. And then they called Hunter Johnson over there. They called Hunter Johnson. She did because she knew what. I'm sorry. That part I do think she knew. They knew. She knew. Like, why?
Yeah.
And then Hunter Johnson grabbing that knife. Like, who did he think was still in the house? So it makes me wonder, did they know that it's almost, I feel like when I've done the readings, it's kind of come out that Kaylee knew there was going to be some kind of repercussions for something, but I don't think that they thought it was going to be what it was, because I don't think it was supposed to be that.
Yeah. I agree.
Mo, with his attitude, if you go back to his history, he's very violent. if you listen to what Todd Siegel says too, and y'all, this man had not been mentioned at this point, like Todd Siegel, no, but he describes that man to a T. When I say y'all to a T, ask Christy.
Oh yeah.
And he really helps police every day. Like, so, that man was violent. So if Kaylee was yelling, or they were supposed to just shake them up, and Kaylee had an attitude with him, or anybody, like, it fucked his ego up, and he lost his mind. Because even though I think it was a quote unquote professional hit, when we say that, it means that he's done this shit before. Like they've been in all that prison stuff. He's done this shit before, but they got carried away, and twice ear to ear on Kaylee post-mortem shows exactly that is like overdone. So it doesn't have to be somebody that was sleeping with Kaylee to have that much rage. That man had been in prison. If this, I don't know if he did it. I'm not saying, I'm just saying if. This is all hypothetical. Things set people off like that, and that's what they do in prison. If you disrespect them in prison, that's what they do. So it doesn't have to be they were sexually attracted to any of them. That's not what it was. They pissed his ego off, and it went too far, I believe. That's really what I believe.
Yep. Yeah, I agree with you there. I do. Definitely. Well, guys, this was fun. We've made 3 hours. 3 hours for my first live back. Whew. I can't believe it. I did it. So
yes,
hopefully,
you did. I told you you had plenty of people that supported you, and the people that don't, like, I love everybody. There's people in here that we know that we're friends with, but the other people, we don't know them, and I don't care. Let them leave bad comments, because they still hyping your stuff up. Whatever they say, let them do it. Yeah, that's why I say everybody has their own opinion, and if we all didn't have if we all had the same opinion, this world would be really freaking boring. So
yep. Okay, what's TK? Yeah, they knew the door was wide open. That was a lie that Hunter had to push it open to get in. They said
that's what I'm saying. There's
wide open. So those 2 girls, yeah.
See, but I wonder if Christy and them were told that. To me, that's something they were told. You know what I mean? So that's why I don't get as mad as Christy and Steve, because I think Christy really wants to believe. She was told by law enforcement. You got to think. You want to believe, like, why would that? She's got a lot going. And I'm not just taking up for her all the way. I'm just saying, like, I don't never want to know how that feels. God forbid. Because I can't tell you, I probably act a fool, a straight fucking all the way. Oh, Lord. I don't know. But, you know.
Yeah.
I just try to show people love. Like, and that's the problem in this world. That's why all this bad shit happens. Like, if we would just take a moment and quit letting the government divide and conquer us, and just find something we liked about somebody we might not like. There's got to be something, just one thing, then we would find ourselves in a more positive light. Because all we're doing by being negative toward people, going in somebody's life just to be negative, we're miserable with ourselves. What the hell? Yeah. I don't want to be like that. I want to try to, if there is good in person, anybody, I want to try to find it. I don't want to be mean and hateful. I just want people. I wish everybody, I know I'm mushy and sick, but just love everybody and try to be a better person for yourself, for everybody else, and don't lower your standards to act like that. We all get mad and do things and say things, but there's a way to handle things and there's a way not to. Yeah. And I mean, I've forgiven people that I ain't supposed to hang out with them again, but at one time I was plotting how I could get away with taking them out. Okay. So, I'm not gonna hang out with folks that have just done me dirty. Yeah. But as Ashley has written on her hand, Judas 8:2. Yeah. We let people act and be who they are gonna be, and then that's why I have let them on my arm. Let them do what they're gonna do. I learned that the hard way, and Christy and Heather, Lucy can attest to that. I've went through a major change over this past year, and I had to learn you just have to let people. You just have to let them, because they're going to do what they want to do, and you can't control it. The only thing you can control is how you react to it.
Yep. Oh yeah. Okay.
And I am a fan and rooting and always will for those 4 that are not here and can't speak the way we do. Y'all can't convince me they ain't my best friends, because I didn't know none of them, know any of them. But I mean, I feel very connected to them, and I think their mission is a bigger truth with exposing stuff. But I do what I do because death sucks, and this kind of death really sucks. And you know, the loneliness that people feel, sometimes they just need to be able to feel somebody's energy around them and know they're still there. They just communicate in a different way. Ask Heather, she'll tell you. She knows all about it too. So does Chris. But finding out how they communicate is the trick. So,
love, Tina, your comment. Yes, I thought about that the other day, and I'm glad you brought that back up. It says
because they were mean to her about that.
Yes, people were making fun of and saying that Dylan was gay and this and that and that, and you know, Dylan was planning a revenge. That's what was said, like at the beginning of this was.
And people might have hurt Dylan's feelings, because I'm not being mean. I think Dylan's pretty, but I hate even judging. But Bethany, Xana, Maddie, and Kaylee,
thank you,
had a more natural pretty to them. Dylan had to try. No, I'm not saying bad about her. I'm just trying to be honest. She had to try harder. And it's her personality, probably, because the inside comes out. So, but that one picture, the first time I ever saw that picture of the way Dylan was looking at Kaylee, I said, oh, that's never fucking good.
Yep.
Because that's just the way I felt.
Yep. It keeps attacking the topic too.
But can you imagine being Dylan and feeling less than, and people making fun of you, and you looking at these girls every day? I'm not taking up for, I'm just saying a little bit of empathy. I'm not saying that if she did it, it's right. I'm just saying sometimes that's what I'm saying. We need to be careful what we say to people. You don't know when you're pushing them over the edge. She could have took herself out. You know, we don't. Mean is mean, you know, and somehow I think Quinn's little fucking stupid smart ass was hitting on Kaylee or Maddie or Zan. Like, I think he was doing that shit too. I can just feel that shit. And that shit right there will drive a girl. Like, that will really fuck you up. So,
yeah. I'm sure, not to change subject completely, but y'all, most Ians probably did in Discord, because I either shared it in Dagos or typically unique. No, I don't have one yet. I should probably make one for the channel. I just haven't got to. But the Celebrate interview yesterday, did you watch that?
I didn't watch it.
Who
did it?
The husband and wife, Jared and
typically unique.
No, I'm talking about the Celebrate themselves have a web page that I sent you the video yesterday, and it was
I've done my brain. I'm sorry, shit. I had a brain fart. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, and they talked about the like what they got from his phone, and if I don't know about anybody else, but I watched the whole dang thing, and they didn't get much. And they pretty much...
He looked up porn twice, I think. And he... I just had to say that. He looked up porn twice, that's it.
They got nothing from it other than, well, it could be this, or it could be. Like, I don't know. I was frustrated. Yeah, they got nothing. And they admit that there was nothing. And because they got nothing, that makes it him. And I'm like, and it doesn't... Okay, he goes to college, he's a TA. He knows about all this stuff. He knows about, erasing stuff and not keeping stuff, or using different VPNs. And so I don't, and guess what? I erase a lot of my stuff because of storage issues. And when you don't got extra storage, that's an easy way to help keep, it down, is erase stuff. So to me, it's not completely that strange, but that is literally all they sat and said that they came up with. Yes, absence of evidence is not evidence of absence. What?
That's exactly why the judge had to take out every other bit of anything the defense could bring to the table, because they didn't even have. That's why. But that is also still, to me, morally, should be legally and unjust. It's wrong, because you just took away his whole defense.
Yeah.
I mean, because they don't
Sky
have
blue.
anything.
Yes. Sky blue eyes. Yes. They're making lack of evidence. And that's not right. Show me the proof of him being in that house other than this knife.
And
sheath.
when Bill Thompson stood up, the man literally said, I can't put him in the house. I can't connect him to him. I can't. Judge Hibbler shouldn't have even accepted the plea deal, because that was supposed to have to be proven. Like, I was waiting on somebody to come in and save the day, I guess, because I just knew somebody from higher up somewhere, that's my mind. Yeah. I'm real simple-minded. Yeah. Somebody was coming to fix this shit, because this shit was not happening. Like, it is not fair. I'm an Aquarius, so there's that. It has to be fair. If what's right is right, what's fucking wrong is wrong. And I don't understand why everybody can't just get that in their head. That doesn't happen. But I just knew somebody was coming to fix. And Lucy kept on saying, Trisha, they're not. No, this is Pee Wee's Playhouse. The fucking furniture talking would have made more sense than the fucking people talking, literally. I mean, I cannot believe. I mean, I guess I can't. This has to be not real reality, what we're going through, because this shit right here, we're being punked. We have to be being punked. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah. But, okay, I got to call it. My daughter and granddaughter and them just showed up. And we did make it 3 hours, but
yeah. And y'all, before we go, I'll post something about it. I'll tag Christy in it, but we will figure out about that digital book and doing a private something somewhere for the people that want to. That I know everybody can't just fork out money, and it don't matter how much it is for stuff, So I don't mind doing that, but we'll figure that out.
Yes.
Okay. Kiss all the babies, Christy. Love y'all.
I love you all. Thank you all for being here. Make sure you hit that like, subscribe, and all that, lovely stuff. And we'll set up something. We'll be back. I'll be back around more now. And
yeah, we'll be having some kind of schedule. I said some kind.
As soon as I hear from Amber on the interviews that we're all waiting for, I will let you know as soon as I know something. Hopefully it is this week, because this is ridiculous. So, and if we want to go through, if you guys think of any more from these new messages and that, if you think of anything else that you are interested in some FOIAs on, just, comment. Leave them somewhere, and I write them down. And then, once I get enough people would ask for a certain one so much, then I'll put in a FOIA for it. So, yeah, and we'll go from there. And it was good to see you all.
More FOIAs. I think we're going to have more requests after we listen to the book or whatever. Or I'm saying, read it, listen to it. That's how we'll do it. But I'm sure there'll be more requests we're asking for. Yeah, almost positive.
Yep.
Okay. Well, y'all have a good day, and we will be back. And I had fun. Thank y'all.
Yep, I did too. I had a great time. Thank you guys. Bye.
Bye.